Well, guys. We're back again. Btbc. We got Tommy, Rod, Jay, Lee. Today's going to be an interesting one because we got a lot to talk about. TNA, TKO, releases, Backlash. We're back. Tommy, do your intro, please.
No, good job, man. You've been taking care of the overall intro of the podcast these last couple of weeks, and we appreciate it. But it's your boy Tommy BTBC, man. Back at episode 144. Should be a good one. Ghost already said we got releases, TKO, TNA, all types of stuff today. So it should be a good little episode, man. I'm gonna let my other co-hosts go ahead and introduce themselves. Rod, go ahead, man.
What's going on? I'm back. It's been, I think it's been like 2-3 weeks. Obviously got back from Mania and had to take a little time off due to just being so tired. I needed to catch up on sleep and stuff. But I'm back in full rotation, and I'm not looking to slow down anytime soon. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and I'm gonna hand it off to my other co-host, Jay Aries.
What's good with y'all boys, man? I'm in the car with it right now, but we're here on BTBC, Bad Takes, Better Conversations. As much as I hate Rod, I'm glad he was able to make it back safe. You know, I might have a little present for him from co-host to co-host. Good to see Tommy. Good to see Lee, Ghost. And yeah, man, I'm excited to delve into our topics today, man.
Get well soon, Russell Spot. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Shout out Russell Spot, who's not here.
I can't believe I forgot about that. Yo, shout out my nigga Russell Spot, man. I hope he get better, bro. I really don't know what the fuck happened. That shit is crazy, bro.
Rod doesn't even know what happened.
Hey, man, Russell Spot. I hope we get to see you back on here soon. Get well soon, brother.
All right. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about here today. I don't care about my intro. Let's just get right into things.
Oh wow.
Let's just get into the releases.
That's the first thing. All right, I'm gonna list off all the names. I am gonna list off all the names first.
I know why.
Because there is a lot. So and then we can talk about them individually. We don't have to talk about all of them. I honestly don't even know who two of these people in here are. Everybody else I kind of know. So off the top, Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai, Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, Shayna Baszler, Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade, Eddie Thorpe, Riley Osborne, Jakara Jackson, Gallus, Oro Mensah, Javier Bernal. I have no idea who that is. Danny Palmer. I've heard of her, but not too familiar with what she did in the WWE, honestly. And then the last one was Shotzi. So I'm gonna start off.
There was a lot more than that.
I think that was it.
No,
if you can find
Wolfgang,
the three Gallus boys as well. They were released, and there was a few others.
Yeah, I said Gallus.
I didn't hear you.
Gallus.
Just wanted him to mention them Scots again so bad.
So what? So I'm gonna say this, and I've been seeing a lot of outrage about this. I'm not gonna lie, the outrage, I feel like it's not needed. Low key. Look, I understand. You know, WWE releases there's no, it's never good, right? They're never a good thing seeing people lose their jobs. But the thing is, I'm looking at all these names, right? And I'm gonna go by them one by one, just to kind of give my thoughts on them, and then I'll kind of let you guys do your thing. But Braun Strowman, like, he's not the same. I'm not sure how much.
I do feel like with Braun Strowman, context 100% needs to be added, because the fact of the matter is, Braun Strowman, when he returned to the WWE, he returned with noodle legs, and his only role was to put people over. Braun Strowman did the bet, went out of his way. He made Bronson Reed look magnificent. He made Jacob Fatu, like, obviously these two were obviously already good, but he made these two look magnificent. And then, as much as I love Paul Heyman, bro, hold up, I got a mobile order for Jalon. Fuck y'all. Yeah. As much as, like, the fact of the matter is, as much as I fuck with Paul Heyman, bro, Paul Heyman was 100% wrong because they shot on him at that bum ass roast. They shot on him at the roast, and then Paul Heyman came out on a Pat McAfee TV and show and basically said Braun Strowman is ass. Thank you. They basically said Braun Strowman is ass. That's why he wasn't at WrestleMania. You're not gonna tell me with it. You're not gonna sit here with a straight face. And I fuck with Jey Uso. I think Braun could 100% have had a better performance at WrestleMania than Jey Uso, my nigga.
Wow.
Like, you're not about to sit here and tell me that Braun is just a complete cone and that's why he couldn't make it to WrestleMania. He couldn't make it to WrestleMania because there was a bunch of other shit on there. Like, niggas had the New Day versus the War Raiders on WrestleMania. That was not a WrestleMania match, bro. But then Paul Heyman wanted to get on the Pat McAfee show and get fucking cheap heat laugh and say, "Oh, Braun was ass. That's why he couldn't." Like, and then y'all release him. That's ridiculous, bro. That's not how you treat an employee, bro. That's not how you treat someone. Like Braun Strowman's still human. Feel me? Obviously, the releases are gonna come, and I'm always feel how I feel about the releases. Don't brag about all this money you're making and then firing people, but especially when it comes down to it, like when you get into the nitty gritty, Braun Strowman did all this for the company, and then you have one of your top people bury him, and then you release him. That's just not a good look for the company.
There's actually quite a few situations with these releases where I think Jay, you can not saying that Paul Heyman talked about all these guys, but you can say for a couple of these guys, only a couple, kind of the same thing. It's just some of them were actually being utilized quite a bit, and seeing some of those names kind of come up being released that Rod said earlier is it was kind of interesting. But Rod, you can continue.
Yeah, look, clearly the company's looking towards the future, and like you could say whatever you want that there's a lot of people that they could have fired if they're really looking towards the future. I get it. To be quite honest, in terms of Braun Strowman, there's already enough like big men like that are, you're talking Jacob Fatu, and you got Bronson Reed coming back. I don't see a scenario in which Braun Strowman fits into any plans that they got going forward. There's no other really big men coming up. I mean, sure, you can make him go against Obafemi when he comes up, but like, I mean, I don't know. If you're just gonna use him to make people look good, there's no point in like really using him. His knees are shot. He's not the same that he once used to be. And honestly, I really do think he's like near the end of his like career, and it's unfortunate. I mean, like, it is what it is. I'm not siding with WWE and whatever they're doing. Clearly, what they did was wrong in terms of like making him look bad and bashing his name. But at the end of the day, like, there's nothing for him. Like, he's not gonna become a WWE champion. He's not gonna become a world heavyweight champion. I don't see him becoming an IC champ. Like, there's really nothing for him outside of just putting over talent. It's like, for that, you might as well just kind of let him go. Dakota Kai, she hit a wall. And it's very unfortunate for her. She was stuck in the Intercontinental Championship. I feel like she was starting to gain some traction a little bit. But I don't think the WWE really knew what to do with her. And ever since her return, I feel like a lot of her stuff has fell flat. A lot of it has to do with the WWE writing itself. Me personally, I'm actually glad she got released. Not because I'm not saying that because I don't think she's fit for the WWE or anything like that, or I'm not trying to disrespect her, but I think she can actually work better anywhere else. They weren't using her to her full potential. You want to talk about potential? Like, her potential was NXT. Like, that is where she really showed potential, and that none of that came to fruition in the main roster. I was getting like pretty annoyed at the fact that they weren't using her the way that they were supposed to. They had her stuck in this damage control stuff where they were using her kind of as maybe the third or fourth best person in the group. Like, it's very unfortunate, but I could actually see her working a lot better in TNA. She hit a wall, and I'm not sure Triple H knew really what to do with her. It's the same with a lot of these talents. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. I got a feeling they released them because they had no plans for them, and I think the women's tag division is just about, this is like literally like the stamp. This is it. It's over. I really do think they're going to kill off the women's tag team division. I mean, you really only have a handful of tag teams, maybe 2 or 3. Shayna Baszler, time has passed her. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Time has passed her. She could have been something. Unfortunately, they kind of just buried her over like the last 5-6 years. I'd love to see her get into like Bloodsport or something, or like GCW, something along those lines. Gigi Dolan. Where do I even start? Her breaking off from Fatal Influence killed her career. Like outside of Chemical X, she wasn't really doing much. She hit a wall. She had been in NXT for 5 years. I mean, you've been in NXT for so long. I'm not saying she's not talented or anything, but there was nothing for her left to do, like in NXT, and I'm not sure what she would have done in the main roster. She would have been stuck on main event. I'm almost pretty damn certain. The WWE roster is massive. That's the biggest thing here. That is just the biggest thing, and that's why some of these talents are getting released. Like we literally just had Penta and Rey Fenix just come in this year. You had Jacob Fatu just come in this past year. We've had so many people come in the last year, so you got to kind of find room to get rid of some of these people that you're really not using or you don't have any future plans for. Cora Jade, I think you guys can see like what the pattern is here. These are all like, I hate to say it, but useless people. None of these people fit like the future of the WWE. They like, there's Cora Jade. Now this one was pretty crazy to me when I saw this one. This is what is she, 25 or something like that? She's very young. The thing is, I went to Stand and Deliver a couple of weeks ago, and I feel like maybe just me watching her on TV, I don't really know what it was, but when I saw her working at Stand and Deliver, she looked very slow. Her knees don't look recovered. Hopefully this release lights a fire under her. I feel like she's kind of been coasting a bit. I don't know if it's her injury. I don't know if it's just her. Maybe she's not satisfied.
I will say something on Cora Jade real quick. She hasn't been like the best since she returned to NXT.
Cora Jade at one point,
something missing with her.
Cora Jade at one point was one of the main future woman stars. After she got injured, it went completely downhill for her.
Yeah.
I really do think
she was on the same pedestal as Tiffany for the future. I'm not even joking.
You're not wrong.
I really do think at Deadline 2023 when she came back and she attacked Lyra Valkyria, I really do think she was primed to beat Lyra Valkyria for that NXT Women's title. Mm-hmm. Because she got hurt, they had to pivot to go to Roxanne Perez. But I really do think, and props to Roxanne because she ended up turning heel and everything, and she's gone on this amazing run. But unfortunately for Cora Jade, she got hurt again, literally 2 months into her returning, and that killed her completely. And I've seen a name being brought up, and I think this name, I really do think this person should actually, I fucking hate to say this, but they should be released as Nikita Lyons. I really, I don't see anything in her. I don't. She's oralist. She doesn't do anything for me. She doesn't wrestle well. She doesn't cut a promo well. She doesn't do anything well. Actually,
she can't do anything well. Basically,
to be quite honest with you, like, I mean, she does like kick, but go to the UFC. You want to kick? Go to the UFC. I mean, that's the best way to put it. Eddie Thorpe.
Why did he beat
this one? Like, come on. This was like, thank God. What was he doing? Like, guy's ass.
And like Bill said, why did he beat Trick? The only defending point I can give NXT for letting him win Trick is Sean had no idea this was coming. But at the same time, because we weren't even moved by Eddie Thorpe and nothing he did on NXT, I kind of think Sean should have also known that this was going to happen. It was one of those ones where this one was kind of... Yeah.
Another name, Riley Osborne. This one comes at the price of killing off Chase U. Obviously, he was a part of Chase U. Duke Hudson got released. This one, unfortunately, I think he's a really skilled and talented wrestler. They just, if I'm not mistaken, I think they've thrown him on like Level Up or Evolve or whatever. They didn't know what they were doing with him, to be honest. But this is what happens when you have the roster that they have. Like, they've been signing so many people. Another name, Jakar Jackson. This one quite literally shocked me, but not really, because once they broke off Metal 4, I was like, oh, something's happening here. But she got released, and honestly, I think she's one of the few names. I think her. I only say Cora because she's really young. And then Dakota Kai are probably the most valuable names here. I think everybody else, like, I really don't see value in just about almost anybody here outside of Dakota Kai, Cora Jade, Jakara. Those are maybe the only three names. And then now we're gonna get into Gallus. Look, Gallus has been stuck in NXT, whether it's NXT UK, and I know Lee, you're gonna hate to hear this, but they've been stuck. They weren't gonna go
I'm
up to the
agreeing
main
with you.
roster.
I've got some things I want to say about this.
They
as
weren't
well,
going to
like,
move up to the main roster. They're very, very talented in the ring, and I think they're very talented, all individuals. Unfortunately, when your roster, now they could have been used on the Raw Tag Team division, I will say. That
Yeah.
tag team division is god awful. I don't know if Triple H saw. I really don't know why Triple H didn't see anything in them in terms of like trying to thrust them into the Raw Tag Team division, because I really do think they could have played a role in there. Unfortunately for a lot of these people, like there's if you were in NXT, I'm not sure how much of a factor you would have played in the main roster. Like I feel the same sentiment with Gigi Dolan. I really don't know what she would have done in the main roster. Riley Osborne. If they were gonna, obviously breaking up Metaphor, what were you gonna do with Jakara Jackson on the main roster? I don't really know. Gallus was one of the few teams, or one of the few people out here that I really do think could have benefited from moving to the main roster, because the Raw Tag Team division is so bad, and you didn't even bother to put Fraxium on Raw, and you put them on SmackDown with a bunch of loaded tag teams, where I actually thought that you could put Fraxium on Monday Night Raw and build a division around them. Unfortunately, that's not what they did. So that was kind of a mistake there. But you could have vaulted Gallus into the Monday Night Raw roster. Now, you don't have to have them win the titles, right? Or like be the special attraction almost immediately, but you could have them build themselves up over a couple of months, up to a year, and eventually win the titles at some point. But
I will say something.
I don't get it.
I will say, there was a lot of people after Mania 40 when it found out that they three were the ones that trained The Rock, got The Rock back to in-ring, like helped The Rock train. Right? I was in the boat of everyone that says, oh, they're going to get a big push when they return to NXT. They came back to NXT and they started a random little feud with Joe Hendry when he was kicking around, walking around NXT.
Yep.
And then they did nothing with them. They gave them a random tag team title match against Fraxium. And it low-key made them look weak as fuck, because they had Axiom face Oba like half an hour before their match and they still lose. It's like, and they had potential to do something with them after they lost the tag titles to Tony D'Angelo and Stax, but they didn't do anything. They just put them off TV. But the thing is, like, Mark Kofi and Wolfgang, they're going to find success as a tag team, or the Kofi brothers could go back to tag team. But the person that was screwed over the most by WWE in that group was Joe. They had the chance to make him. They had the chance to make him the NXT UK champion. They never pulled the trigger because Gunther came in. They had the chance to throw him into the North American title picture and have him win the title when Gallus were NXT tag team champions. So that all three of them held gold, but they just fumbled them so badly. And they would have been they could have done things on Raw, because that Raw tag division is dreadful. It is literally just the New Day, the War Raiders, Judgment Day, and that's it. I can't think of any other tag teams there, which is like why you had a perfectly good tag team there, put them on Raw, have them build up, and then have them potentially win the tag team titles at some point. But you didn't. You just released them. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, look, that was another failed experiment by the WWE. Not good. Or Mensa, just very unfortunate. Metaphor got broken up. Very unfortunate. I'm not sure what he would have done outside of Metaphor. The next two names, Javier Bernal and Danny Palmer, I got nothing to say, honestly. I don't even know who these two are.
Who they are.
And then Shotzi.
Oh
boy.
Oh, brother.
Shotzi. Comes out in the tank. Has personality like hell, honestly. But I don't know. Doesn't work for me. She doesn't work for me at all. Man, do you see all of these people that are getting released? And I'd like to I'd like for somebody to bring up Ant's comment, right? I feel like for some talent, bring up that comment. This right here, there's been a lot of outrage, right? I feel so. I'm gonna read this. I feel like for some talent, these wrestlers, fans, because some of these wrestlers, I don't even know how they have fans, but they're just mad because the releases, right? But supposedly they have fans come out of the woodworks complaining about talent they didn't care about a month ago. Who cares about Kaden Carter and Katana Chance?
The
Respectfully.
thing with them is, I think they're the way with the women's tag titles, they're basically going to get rid of them since they've
Who
given.
cares about the women's tag titles? They've been asked.
They're like, if you're giving your champions time off, that shows how bad that division is. You're better just scrapping the titles.
I'm not gonna lie, I see a lot of fans, right, coming to the help of these people, right? That's cool. I mean, by the way, WWE is not in the right for releasing these people, and especially before a show, right? But let me ask you this: if you're really a fan, right? If you're really a fan, are you gonna support them after their release? Are you gonna buy the merch? Are you gonna support the company that they're gonna work for? If Dakota Kai shows up in AEW, are you gonna put your feelings to the side? Because I know a lot of people hate AEW. Are you gonna put your feelings to the side and watch it because of Dakota Kai? No, and I'm not talking about, oh yeah, you're just gonna support it for a month. Are you gonna support it for a year, and the year after that, and the year after that, no, you're not. Because you can't put your feelings to the side. Your feelings are hurt because this person literally just got released. That's why. You don't care about this person. You're not a fan of theirs. You're just mad. You're just mad because they just got released, and you thought that they could have been better. Yes, and they're gonna be better somewhere else. They might just be, but are you gonna support them elsewhere? A lot of these people that claim that they're the fans of some of these people that got released, they're not really fans. They're not.
You muted, Jay.
Jay, you're muted. Yeah,
Great wise words from the draw. Wise words.
You're so muted. Still muted. Blame Mesco because he's not here.
Hold on. Leave the StreamYard and then come back.
Yeah, just leave the stream.
It's probably an issue.
Wise words from the draw.
But yeah, why are people getting upset about Katana Chance?
Oh, I didn't really care about them when they were the women's tag team champions.
The women's tag titles are ass. Everyone's like, let's get rid of them, and now niggas are like, oh no, Katana Chance, come back.
I will say I'm surprised Shayna got released now and not last year.
I agree with that. Also,
people
want to say this.
Go ahead.
Oh, Jay's here.
Anyway, what I was saying was, I know a lot of people, like, for example, like speaking for myself, I watch TNA on a weekly basis. So, for example, seeing like Dakota Kai in TNA, even Braun Strowman at the tail end of his career in TNA, if he went to TNA, I'm gonna still fuck with it and I'm gonna still support it. And yeah, I might feel a little outraged because I just don't like seeing people lose their jobs. But we also shouldn't lie to ourselves. Like, we care about every single person that got released. You're not about to tell me that every single wrestler that got released you watch on a day-to-day basis ain't like you really care about, bro. I understand being upset about, you know what I'm saying, seeing people lose their jobs. But we also have to be realistic. Like what Rod said earlier, like this is also an opportunity for other wrestlers to, they don't necessarily have to make it back to WWE, but there's an opportunity for the wrestlers that you claim were underutilized. Now there's a chance for them to get utilized. It's no secret that people are gonna be fiending to book Cora Jade to the moon, book Shayna Baszler to the moon. Feel me? Like, you can still.
The drawing is cut out. This is Esco's fault.
Yep, blame Esco. He's not here.
So before he does come back, yes or no, Cora Jade will return to WWE in 5 to 10 years? I do think yes. She's young.
Yes.
She's like 25, maybe less than 25. She's young. She needs to. What she needs to do, she needs to get back in a form. She needs to get back into the form where she was before her injuries. Hi there, guys. Last night was my birthday, and it was so good. So happy Star Wars Day. Oh yeah, happy.
Yes, Star Wars Day.
Yes, may the 4th be with you, and happy
May the 4th
birthday.
be with you, all Star Wars fans.
Happy
Yes.
birthday to you.
Go watch Tales of Underworld, guys.
But
Cora Jade is actually 24. Yeah, she's 24.
Yeah, she's very young. Like there's room for her to come back to the WWE, which I do think she will. Like I think she will. If I'm being quite honest with you, I think Cora Jade and Dakota Kai will probably be the 2 people that I do think come back to the WWE on this list. These other people, I don't think so. I really like Eddie Thorpe. No, Braun Strowman. Look,
Braun Strowman's done, in my opinion.
people are caping for Braun Strowman. You're gonna forget about him in a month. People are gonna forget if he doesn't wrestle, in about a month. People are gonna forget about him. Want to know why? Because he's just not the same, bro. He's not the monster among men. Like
it's kind of impossible for him to wrestle next month.
Well, that is true, but I'm saying people are gonna forget about him even after his 90 days. Like if he doesn't wrestle, look, it sucks. It really does. I thought he was good several years ago, back 2018, 2017, 2019. These injuries have caught up to him, and he's just not the same. He made Bronson Reed and he made Jacob Fatu look good. Yeah, that's great. But man, you can only do so much with that guy nowadays. He's not the same, bro. Think Coda might go to AEW. I do think so. I think it's either AEW or TNA. Something everybody's afraid to say about why Shayna Baszler fell in WWE. She's not beautiful. Look, I do get that, because I feel like WWE
under Miss Man, that's probably one of the main reasons.
Yeah. Or this is kind of just a pro wrestling thing. Look at all the women at the top of their game. All very beautiful women in any promotion. What? Like, it's very rare that a woman that looks, or how do I word this? Like that. Okay, I'm just gonna say that looks like Shayna Baszler is rarely at the top in any company. It is what that's just what it is. She was at the top at NXT because for that time and that specific time, people viewed her as a badass, and Triple H built her to be one of the most dominant women in the world at that point in time. And look, maybe Triple H was trying with her. I really do think Triple H was trying with her and Zoe Stark with Pure Fusion Collective. I'm not sure what they were really doing with Sonya Deville, if they were even really trying with her. But I really do think in terms of like Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, he was trying, but they couldn't. There was something that they just couldn't get over. Vince had buried Shayna Baszler so bad. It's hard to build her back up. It really is. There's like people after a while just stopped caring for her.
The one thing with Shayna that I want to know is, how did you go from having her eliminate everyone in the Elimination Chamber to less than a month later having her lose to Becky Lynch?
And not only that, if you think about the month prior, look at all the women she eliminated in the Rumble, and then she was in the final 2 with Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, Lee, for the Becky Lynch,
or was it Becky? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
No, Charlotte won 2020.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Lee, I will say for the Becky Lynch one, it has been said plenty of times. Becky wanted Shayna to win, but of course, Vince McMahon said no.
Yeah, I'm not blaming Becky. I'm obviously blaming.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying Becky would have made the right choice.
I want to know what went through his head to have her do so well in the Rumble, then have her dominate the Chamber, to then lose the big match at Mania.
And look, Ant said, I get what you're saying, Rod, but Vince made Shayna. Yeah, I do get that he made her look, but did he make her look badass for over 2 years?
He made her look badass for 2 months.
And then he killed her. He killed her. He literally killed any momentum she had. What? I don't even remember what she did after she lost at WrestleMania. Granted, that time is very hard to look back on because it is the pandemic.
I can remember they literally did nothing with any of the women realistically. If it wasn't Bailey,
the Money in the Bank,
or Asuka,
was she even in the Money in the Bank that year?
Yeah, she was.
She was.
Oh, okay. Wow. They literally killed her. So now there's a name that I do want to talk about. And honestly, this guy is becoming one of my favorite people. Now, Karrion Kross. Oh boy,
Ryan, can I say something real
Karrion.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. Everyone in here knows how much I used to hate this man.
Yep.
He has grown on me so fucking much. Oh my god, Karrion, I am so glad you finally you also dodged another release segment. I think you also saved the part of it by cutting that promo.
Yeah,
That
that was what I
amazing
was about to.
promo.
That's what I was about to get into. Look, Karrion Kross, I do believe, was on the verge of getting
He
released.
was. Yes, he
was.
I'm almost under the assumption. I mean, you have this guy kind of appearing on TV, but not really doing much. He's kind of in the shadows, right? But here's the thing: is he cut that promo, right? And that almost instantly changed the trajectory of his career now. He's a very, very talented individual. There's a reason that he wasn't getting over. And the main reasoning is it's not that he isn't talented, because he could probably be one of the best storytellers in the WWE, in the world of professional wrestling, just
Honestly,
in
I
general.
think he already is.
And that is true. But the reason people didn't connect with him, or the reason he couldn't connect with the crowd, is because I do believe that whatever he was doing was super complex. The storytelling that he was doing was it's storytelling that not a lot of people really, they don't really tap into it. They don't really understand it. Everything is kind of served to us as fans on a silver platter nowadays. A lot of the people who are really, really good nowadays, who really connect with the crowd, look at Jey Uso, just an example. I mean, he does the easiest stuff, bro. Dude says yeet, and like a lot of the people who are over today just do some of the easiest stuff that gets it gets to the point, and that's how they get over. Karrion Kross for the longest time, after the whole stuff with the hourglass, he was doing a lot of very complex storytelling and stuff that a lot of people didn't understand. I could even remember as far back as the last couple of months where he's been talking to like Sami Zayn and some of these other people, and they have turned heel. People have started to see that, but it's the complexity of how they got to this point of when they turned heel through this whole past year, or however many years he's been kind of connecting with these people and they've been turning heel through the body of that work, right? There's a lot of complexity in that, and that's what people didn't really understand. He was saying things that really wasn't clicking with people. He was even doing things like matching their hairstyles, right? Just simple things like that people weren't allowed to connect with. Now, in that promo, he gave you exactly what you wanted to hear, and he delivered everything to you on a silver platter. That is why people are now gravitating to him, because he is giving you exactly what you want, what you need, right there for you to see. But he wasn't doing that all of the time. And sure, you could say, "Oh, it was just a Las Vegas thing because he is from Las Vegas." No, it's not. You know how many people come from internationally to just even go to Las Vegas is the center, almost like one of the few places in the world that's the center of tourism. How many people from Las Vegas really went to WrestleMania? Because in all honesty, I really do think more international people went to WrestleMania more than the people that live in Las Vegas. So that goes to tell you that he has found a connection with the crowd that isn't just surrounded around Las Vegas. This man has been able to do things and put in the work to make sure that he can get appreciated for the work that he's done. And I actually, about a couple hours ago, I finished watching a documentary of his over on his YouTube channel, Killer Kross. I really do recommend everybody to watch it, because it is phenomenal just hearing him talk about his work and how he does believe that it has paid off. And I'm so glad that he's not getting released, because here's the thing: is I do believe that he's going to be on a trajectory almost to the kind of similar to LA Knight. Vince McMahon was trying to kill this man off, right? Had him named Max Dupree. As the weeks went on and he was starting to foreshadow this LA Knight character that everybody had loved in NXT, he started to get, like kind of the appreciation from the crowd little by little. And it came, and it as the weeks went on, it kept going. It's exactly what is happening with Karrion Kross. He has completely thrown away anything that he was doing in the past. Obviously, now he's appearing on screen with guys like AJ Styles. And look at what he just did for WrestleMania, right? he was playing a heel, but he was kind of playing a babyface because he wanted AJ Styles to win to save wrestling. Because a guy like Logan Paul shouldn't be doing what he's doing, and he shouldn't be here. And Karrion Kross was literally saying that he wishes he could just be a YouTuber so he could just launch himself into superstardom, right? But no, Karrion Kross does things the hard way. He wants to do things the way that a professional wrestler does things. And that's why people are gravitating to him. So I really do think this is the start of his ascension. And people, as weeks go on, we're going to start to see that Karrion Kross is going to become a legitimate player. Now, whether it's the mid card, if that's where he starts off, but I really do think they're going to push him towards the main event scene because that is really where he belongs.
Yeah.
I will finally admit
Go
ahead, Tommy.
Go ahead. Okay. I think you hit it right on the head. Karrion Kross is.
How you doing, Denise?
Is that me, Denise?
Yes, I think so.
Wow. Hello, Denise. But nah, I really do believe that that promo that he did cut, I think that's like you said, Axel, I think that's his ascension. He had a match on Main Event. They showed a clip of his entrance and how over he was with the crowd organically. Like it was, they're already kind of getting behind him, and it's already showing that shows. Like I said, it was that Main Event, not the biggest crowd in the world, but it was a crowd nonetheless. So I'm excited to see where this goes next. And I'm actually super excited for Karrion because, I mean, he could have been over a long time ago. But, again, just like Axel said, Vince McMahon kind of did everything in his power for that not to happen. So, with all that being said, I'm super excited to see where this goes. And Ant literally just said this. Literally, I was just thinking this. If it goes right, he could end up becoming a dark horse for something like a Money in the Bank. That's why I see Karrion Kross, like that's why I see his ceiling. I really do believe that. So that's how I feel.
These are the building blocks. This is how you start, bro. This is how you start your rise to the top. Like it doesn't come easy, and it doesn't like you just said. You just mentioned the main event thing, right? He lost to Dragon Lee on a show for main event. Yes, but that's not the point. Is losing. The point is that you're getting over organically, and that's currently what he's doing. His merch on the WWE shop sold out. It sold out. They had to restock it. This man is doing something that he wasn't doing before, and now he might like the fruits of his labor might actually pay off.
It's gonna be good. He's gonna make it far. I think this is exactly what he needed. So
I will admit I was wrong about him. My only problem was he was getting shit feuds. That Drew feud was shit. I did not like it.
It was. I will admit that it was.
I found it boring, but I do see. Wow, I can't fucking talk. I did see the long-term goal for him. I did understand it. I'm glad he's getting more TV time, and now he's getting better feuds. So yeah, I'm glad I can finally actually like this man because I like Bray is literally in my top 10 favorite wrestlers. I like the work that he does basically.
And look, that
I'm a
Drew.
little late to
Go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say I'm a little late to this convo, but I never really had much of an issue with Karrion Kross. I've always felt like maybe he was a little bit underwhelming, but I've always said to myself like maybe he just needs that one thing, and we need to like give him a chance, bruh. And I definitely feel like Rod, I think you put it perfectly. I think what do fans love? Fans love being involved in the business. They love seeing worked stuff. You know what I'm saying? He cut a good worked shoot. Maybe it was a shoot. He cut a good work shoot. Led people in. And you know what I'm saying? That's something easy and simple. Karrion Kross is mad at his bosses. You feel me? Like that's something that people can get invested in. That's something that people can sink their teeth into and say, okay, let me tune into this guy. And then it's slowly gonna start. Now, what we need to see is we need to see WWE capitalize on that. Because, like you mentioned earlier, I've been peeped. Karrion been putting in pain, like putting his hair to using his hair to show off for other people, like just doing stuff like that, little subtle stuff that the crowd would really have to pay attention to. Like he's been working really hard. It's good to see him start getting the notoriety that he deserves. I've been following Kross since his TNA days when he was feuding with Probably gonna say the wrong name, Austin Aries, but whatever the fuck. Point of the story is Karrion Kross been grinding for a while, and it's good to see the internet finally not hating on him for once.
Yeah, shout out to Scarlett too. No particular reason, just Scarlett's a great manager for him. I mean, even the fact that she's like his wife. I think their connection is like really good. And I think they work really well together. But a lot of it had to do with just the complexity of his character. Very complex. The hourglass stuff wasn't all that stuff to follow up on. And when you're in a generation of people, I even suffer from this, is like the screen time stuff. I like it. What's that shit called?
TV time.
No, it's like when you lose interest fast, and like I have it like at the tip of my tongue. I just can't think of it. But we all lose interest fast.
Big word.
We all lose interest fast, whether we're watching something, like even in a movie. We want it to get to the point, like let's go. It literally goes with anything. You're reading a book, you want to get to it.
Short
It's
attention
just
span.
there it is, short attention span. Yeah, we all have that, and it's the same with wrestling. If we don't see anything that's like interesting or pointing out to us, like given to us in like a silver platter, then we're not gonna we're not gonna attach ourselves to it. And that's what the Karrion Kross character was. He was trying to do something that was not really seen in the WWE, which was like the to build a complex character. It's very hard, and it's very unusual nowadays to get a complex character. And just a storyline built that goes across several years. And I think that's what he was trying to go for. I really do think his stuff was long term and not really short term. And that's why we saw the hourglass stuff kind of not really do well. But once he was able to really find like the sweet spot, I think that's when he was able to capitalize. And I think he's found that over the last month or two. And with the stuff with AOP, I really do think that was just something they were just trying to kill him off, honestly. Unfortunately,
they really just brought back AOP to try and take down Karrion Kross.
Yeah, like that group wasn't doing much of anything, and I really do think that was basically the reason Karrion Kross was almost on the verge of getting released, and then he was able, because he's so talented, he was able to save himself. So congrats to him and all the work that he's doing, because wow, it's amazing how just a year ago people were just bored of this man, and now he's getting pops, man.
Now I'd rather see him than most of the tag division.
He had with Lashley last year going into Mania was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the match, the build, and everything was really good.
Cross with Lashley, you said?
Which one? Lashley and the Profits at WrestleMania, the street fight.
I thought you meant. Oh yeah, Cross took in that one.
But his feud with Drew was good, and niggas was still.
It could have been better.
Okay, it could have been better, but they had a good. You feel me? They had a good steel cage match. They had an okay strap match. Here, I feel like in terms of performing on the main roster in that feud, Karrion was at least showing us something. Like, yes, Drew has been involved in much better stuff, but I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that people could have used that as like at the time, like a baseline for Karrion, instead of just hating on him. Like, everybody was just saying like, oh my God, this is ass, yada yada yada. But I felt like Karrion was doing some real good work in those matches. He was showing some good psychology. I feel like he put his working boots on, and he just got shoved aside like people always do to him.
I will also say he actually did pretty decent work with the Wyatts too.
Yeah, he did actually.
It's just a shame that was cut short.
Yeah, it's just a shame because apparently we're not booking the Wyatts for some reason, but I digress.
Honestly, I was surprised I didn't see any of their names in the releases.
I'm not surprised.
I'm glad they're not, because
I'm not surprised. I never for once thought any of them were getting released, because they were used as critical parts of TV when they were. There's just one of them is injured right now. I don't remember who it is, but I don't remember who it is. But yeah, one of them is injured. So they're and because one of them is injured, they're not going to release all the other ones.
Probably Eric Rowan.
Yeah, one of them is hurt. They're just waiting to get back on TV. It's also there's a name out there that's being brought up as to why he's not released. Apollo Crews. Yeah, he's hurt. He's actually seems to be hurt almost every time. He actually seems to be hurt almost every time that releases come around. So he gets lucky.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I rate Apollo Crews. He's been there for like what, 50?
Is it actually Bo that's hurt? according to him.
Yeah. Oh, it might actually be. Yeah.
How did
He has
okay.
been there for so long, and every time releases come around,
Yeah,
he
how the
just
fuck-
so happens to be injured.
Yep.
He's doing something.
They can't, and you can't release somebody when they're injured. So,
No, that's not. He's doing
I mean,
it.
didn't they do that with Sonya Deville?
Eric
Oh,
Rowan, Apollo Crews, Carl Anderson got released. Apollo Crews didn't get
Yeah, but
released.
that was when Vince was releasing niggas.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah. They don't. I don't think they do that anymore. Carl Anderson
Hopefully
wasn't. Well, oh yeah, wasn't Carl Anderson like rehabbing?
Yeah,
when
Carl
he
Anderson
like,
was
got
injured.
released? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this shit. I don't know what they see in Apollo Crews, but I mean, he's clearly still there. I think we can move. Do you guys have anything else to say about like WWE releases, Karrion Kross, anything like that?
Shout out Karrion. Let's hope you get more screen time. Turn more people heel. Turn Sammy heel. Why not?
And have him turn on Jey Uso and win the title from Jey.
Yeah, turn Sammy heel. Why not? Make him make the right decision because
That's somebody I would love to be a world heavyweight champion, man.
Because
Karrion
God forbid
Kross.
you get a world title match and you screw it up, huh, Sammy? Interesting.
But the only thing I need the fans to get used to, going back to the comments earlier about how fans are kind of fickle and fake. But
I can admit I was wrong about Karrion, so I'm good.
We need to get used to this happening at least every 6 months or so. Like I think it's gonna be a normal thing now. So
doesn't this happen after?
Well,
every
this
Mania?
happens, bro. This happens every year. For as long as I can remember, for like the last 7 or 8 years, this is not just a TKO thing. This happens every year.
Speaking of TKO, do we think TKO is ruining the company?
So we'll get
not.
There's subplots here. Sorry, not subplots. There's so there's like, so here are the things we could talk about, right? So we'll start off with ticket pricing. Ticket pricing has gone up astronomically in the last couple of years, 2 years.
I don't even think I'm going to SummerSlam.
Look, SummerSlam's actually not that bad. Like the pricing for SummerSlam this year is not terrible. I mean, you can get in for 2 nights for $300 for both nights. It's not bad. Look, the tickets for the Rumble were actually way more expensive than a 2-night ticket to go to SummerSlam.
Yeah, wasn't the cheapest Rumble ticket at like $400 at one point?
Yeah, the cheapest Rumble ticket was pretty expensive. By the way, when I went to Bad Blood back in October, the cheapest ticket to get into that show was $400. I ended up paying $400 to sit at the top of that. So, I mean, then again, I try not to really compare an arena to a stadium. A stadium can charge a little bit less due to how many people you can actually fit. An arena will always charge more just because smaller capacity. But ticket pricing has gone up astronomically in the last 2 years. Even I'll use this as an example, right? I think this year, WrestleMania tickets, man, they were pretty expensive. Like I'll even bring up like the front row. The front row this year was about $40,000 for both nights.
Yeah.
Last year they were about $10,000 cheaper than that. So that's a $10,000 increase. But if you want to look at like cheaper tickets, I think the to get into WrestleMania last year was maybe about $250 per night. This year was about anywhere between $400 to $500 to get into Mania this year. So it's definitely a big jump.
I think
now obviously
because we were in Vegas. I think that's why.
Ticket pricing. Look, ticket pricing. Obviously, with the economy, it either goes up or it goes down. The company is at such an all-time high. At least that's what they will tell you, right? But then they release all this talent, and you got all this money. But anyways, that's besides the point. But the company is making more money than probably they've ever made before, right? So at some point, because there's so many people that are coming to the show, you kind of have to increase the pricing. And yes, there are still people paying this money. I mean, they packed out 70,000 people into the Royal Rumble this year. Okay, whatever the prices was, they paid for it. But this is what happens is you start to get the casual fans, right? And then the hardcore fans start to kind of be like, oh, I think I'll just watch it at home. And that's the issue is when you price things super high. And I'll even say this at WrestleMania, man, the amount of casual fans that I had seen, that I mean, I was talking to people and they couldn't even name half the roster.
My God.
It's very, and I understand it's WrestleMania. It's very hard for me to even say much, but I've seen at WrestleManias. I've been to 3 so far, so I've been enough to know. But WrestleMania still attracts a lot of hardcore fans, and this was one of them. I don't know if it was Vegas. I don't. It could have just been the pricing, honestly. Getting hardcore fans to just say no, I do not want to pay this year. And honestly, it's sad because I would love to see more hardcore fans go to shows. Obviously, it would make the environment a lot better, the crowds a lot better. Because casual fans, they kind of just sit around and really they don't do much, man. They kind of just on their phones, kind of just enjoying the show. And if they see a cool spot or cool moment, oh, they'll
cheer.
applaud for it. They'll cheer, whatever.
Do the New Japan clap.
But it's what is your guys' take on the ticket pricing? Because clearly it's shot up like ridiculously. So I mean,
I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I can comment on ticket prices.
I can.
There's not a lot of shows over here.
I can. Yeah, they're expensive, brother. Can we bring it down a little bit, please? Thank you. Just a little bit.
It is a little ridiculous. I don't know who Triple H and TKO thinks we are. Especially in today's climate.
They think we're Rod. Rich.
Yeah, facts. Well, we all aren't Rod, we all aren't big shots,
brother.
you know what I'm saying? So
Big shots.
we just can't randomly cough up these
Or J too,
facts or the draw. We can't just randomly cough up these insane ticket prices to go to these shows that, you expect us to go to. And yeah, like Axel saying, it's more like the hardcore fans, the reason why we're not showing that and we're not paying those prices like the casual fans are, because we kind of are in a situation where like we know it's not right. We know WWE shows, we know wrestling shows in general should not be ridiculously priced. It's just because back in the day it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even saying like back in like the 90s or whatever. I'm saying like not too long ago. You know what I mean? But it's whatever. Everything's about money nowadays. The environment is insane and it's kind of annoying. It sucks, but.
I get it. They have to make their money, but holy fuck, come on, let's be reasonable.
I just want to point something out. TKO obviously doesn't just own the WWE. They own the UFC. I've been a fan of the UFC for well over 10, 15 years. And to be quite honest, I'll say this. So Conor McGregor was the UFC's first major star. You could say Brock Lesnar. You could say Ronda Rousey. Yeah, they were big, but nobody kind of was as big as Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is the biggest star the UFC has ever had. And I don't even think there's anybody that comes close to it. When Conor McGregor had this ascension, ticket prices for the UFC skyrocketed. You know who took advantage of that? TKO. For the last 5 to 7 years, the UFC's ticket prices have been absolutely astronomically high. You want to know how much it is to get into a pay-per-view?
What's the cheapest price?
About $1,000.
That's the cheapest price?
Just to sit at the top. I mean, you could probably find one for about $600-$700. But look, clearly TKO is having an effect on the WWE in terms of ticket pricing and a bunch of other things that we will get into. And ticket pricing is just one of them, right? And I should have seen this coming a mile away, because with TKO coming in, there was going to be a lot of changes. They were trying to turn the WWE more into UFC like centric, UFC light, in terms of like some of the business aspects, some of the stuff that revolves around the business, right? Starting off with the ticket pricing. So while the WWE isn't as expensive as the UFC, the WWE has seen an increase in pricing due to just the overall popularity. That does play a factor into it, but also TKO does oversee the UFC. They see their pricing and they see how when you have a majority of stars, because they do, maybe not as big as Conor McGregor, but they do have a variety of stars, so they can raise their prices. And it's the same thing with WWE. Look at all the stars the WWE has. I mean, like, you can name so many people off the top of your head that are legitimate superstars that people know them outside of just wrestling. So, I mean, when you get stuff like that, prices they're just going to increase. But because TKO came in, they were like, well, we're going to increase them a little bit more. I don't think this has nothing to do with Triple H. I really don't. I really do think this is a TKO thing. In terms of the ticket pricing, I really don't think Triple H has anything to do with it. But I should have seen it coming. Do you guys want to talk about anything else about the ticket pricing or no?
Lower them, please.
Yeah, just lower it. Just lower it.
Okay. The next
Yo,
thing.
I agree with that because fucking £370 for a Raw is outrageous. And that's the lowest they went, was 370.
Don't worry,
Well,
Lee. It's not just you that it's not just the UK getting crazy prices. Like we're getting them over here.
Yeah, I
definitely
know.
over here for sure.
Hey, let me say this, man. I've been going to WWE. I've been going to WWE events. My first WWE event was 2009. It was a SmackDown in December. I've been going to my own WWE events, as in like paying for my own tickets since like 2018, 2019, bro. The prices that I have recently been seeing for WWE events are truthfully like they're disgusting. Like they're very bad to see and they're very scary to look at. You know what I'm saying? As a father, like I'm thinking about when I want to bring my daughter to these shows. Like, am I gonna have to sell an arm and a leg to watch Logan Paul main event a SmackDown? Like, what the fuck is going on, bro?
He won't be main eventing because he doesn't work enough. But
That's
I
true.
get your point.
You got that
I
one.
get your point.
Like,
But I get your point.
Like, it's disgusting and it's ridiculous. And honestly, going back, I do think like I know how people feel about Vince. Like, don't get me wrong, Vince has more than enough flaws, but Vince would not prostitute out WWE like Triple H is. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't let the mat completely get fucked. I don't even think he's having Travis Scott. Like he would book a shitty ending, but I don't think Travis Scott would have been involved. Like he just doing like I don't know, bro. This shit is
I really
just,
do think TKO is forcing his hand on some booking decisions.
bro.
yeah, they
TKO are oh my god. I can't even say what they are. All I'm gonna say is TKO reminds me of a small group in the Middle East. That's what I'm gonna say about TKO.
Oh wow.
Clearly, you can tell that Triple H is a legitimate great booker, and I think there's enough evidence to even back that up. I mean, we can even take it as far back as Black and Gold, but I'll even offer you a recent, like a much more recent example.
Mania 40, Mania 39.
Mania 40, and I do want to, and Mania 39, but not just Mania 39. We can talk from SummerSlam 2022.
Oh my god, that Puerto Rico backlash.
From SummerSlam 2022 to not even Mania 39, that it extends almost all the way to Money in the Bank. Or SummerSlam, my bad, SummerSlam, because I think SummerSlam was the fault, like kind of like the collapse, right? A little bit, but but yeah, no, like Triple H has done extensive time. And look, Mania 40, that whole 3-4 month build, right? Even I would even go as far as to saying the summer of last year was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Leading all the way up to the fall, to October. I really do think the WWE did amazing. I think they kind of came down a bit. Ever since November to now, I think it's kind of taken a dip, right? Now, not everything can be perfect all the time. And I think people reminisce on the past a little too much that, because Triple H, they critique his booking a lot because he's had elite moments, bro. Like this man has actually put on for us a lot of the times. He really has. I mean, I just named you guys instances of the times that he's booked really well, and now that he's. And look, I'll even give you this: the Raw after Mania and the SmackDown after Mania. That's good booking. That's great booking. Like, I really do think TKO and Ant just said it. I really do think TKO really forces his hand a little bit. If TKO doesn't force his hand, I really do think we can get more solid booking from Triple H because he's that damn good. I don't think he's bad, bro. A lot of people like to shit on him and think he's actually bad. I really don't think so. But we'll get into that subsection in a little bit. The next one I want to talk about, and this one has come up this one has come up a lot is the sponsorship deals. You know what I'm talking about? The ring mat.
The
A
ring
lot of
mat,
sponsorships.
the
You know,
barricade.
yes. What do you guys think about this? Me personally, when I'm watching wrestling, it doesn't. I don't know, like it doesn't strike me as anything. Like I'm just watching wrestling. I'm not really watching the mat, to be honest. So it never. But like I said, I'm a UFC fan, so I've been seeing it for years. So I don't know. Maybe it doesn't affect me. Maybe it affects you guys. Maybe it affects everybody else that's watching out there. But personally, for me, whether it's cutting a promo or wrestling, for me, it's all the same to me. That's just me though.
I don't care. I don't care when it's like mid match because you know what I'm saying. We've watched matches together before, Rod. You know what I'm saying. We be tapped in. It's after the fact when okay, so and so match happened. Let's turn it on. And you know what I'm saying. We're going through the motions. We already saw the match. No, you looking at the match. You like, damn, that's one logo. Damn, that's another logo. Damn, that's another logo. Damn, that's another logo.
I get what you mean. Where they show the mat after the match.
It's like after the fact. Like it leaves a bad taste in your mouth because growing up, we didn't used to sit like you know what I'm saying. You said you watched UFC. I've always been a casual UFC watcher, so I didn't watch it that much. But it's just like looking at it's like, damn, bro, like y'all, we need this many ads, this many. It's just a lot. It's just a lot to look at. Like it's a lot on people's eyes, especially people that grew up on a product. Not people. A lot of people don't want to see that, myself included. Like I said, I don't necessarily care in the grand scheme of things, but it's just a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to look at, and I understand that affecting people's viewing experience.
There's
Tommy?
also another thing.
Oh, like, go ahead.
I'm not sure if you guys notice it, but like when there's like matches on Raw or SmackDown, the commentators will say this match is also sponsored by, like matches are being sponsored as well now,
Yep.
but in certain ways, which is like
It even happens on weekly TV
that's what I'm
nowadays.
saying.
So it was first. I'm not going to sit here and cap it. Like when Triple H first got the crown and that the power to book, being the head man in charge pretty much. When he got that, he started to bring it back slowly at first, and I was like, oh, that's nice. Just like they used to do a little while ago, like 08 and stuff, where they did it like sprinkled in every now and then. But now I feel like, okay, now it's a little OD. We got, like we were saying, we got the whole mat covered in sponsorships, like it's a boxing ring now or a UFC cage now. It's just, I mean, I get it, bro. You got to get your money, and quite frankly, it sucks that this is where all of sports is going, and it really sucks that WWE is going so strictly down that path. Like again, back in the day, where it was sprinkled in every here and there, it was cool, it was whatever. But now I feel like it's like every single pay-per-view, every single match is sponsored by something. It's just it's annoying. And like you said, for a casual, it leaves a nasty taste in your mouth.
But back then, the most they would do is like, oh, this pay-per-view sponsored by Slim Jim, or
right,
this pay-per-view, but they wouldn't sponsor matches. Like there's
And
matches
then there
that are
was the Slim
sponsored
Jim
by
Battle Royal.
like, yeah, there's matches sponsored like well, the New Day versus the War Raiders was sponsored by Clash of Clans. Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck is that?
had them coming out looking just like the Clash of Clans characters. Yeah, like I
Not gonna
get
lie, I
what the
thought the
gimmick
women's
was,
triple
but,
threat
like,
was gonna be sponsored by Clash of Clans because of Rhea Ripley.
It's like also what Alex Alberto said, Bray's final match, Mountain Dew lights out.
Oh, the Mountain Dew, whatever that match was. Oh my lord!
Yo, me and Tommy were there live for that.
Yeah.
R.I.P. my nigga Bray, but they did him filthy for his last match, bro. They did it.
Yeah, they did. But I mean,
I don't agree with the matches being sponsored. Me personally, I don't care about like the mat, like because that's something I'm just used to. But the match is being sponsored by that needs to go. I'm fine with a pay-per-view. If you want to sponsor every pay-per-view by something, I'm cool with that. Like I mean
that's been going on for years.
That's been a norm. That's a normality.
Oh my
God,
people are saying,
one
oh, this is like something that TKO has been doing. You got to remember, this also happened under Vince, like 2021 Survivor Series, the Pizza Hut Battle Royal, and then earlier in the year, Damian Priest and The Miz, lumberjack match with zombies. promoting Dave Bautista's film.
Yeah. Yeah, anything else you guys want to say about the sponsorship deals?
I don't care about the mat. The pay-per-views, I don't care. The matches, yeah, it's getting a little crazy.
All right. Well, now we can get into what we were talking about earlier, the product, the booking, everything that has to do with the product, which is like the booking aspect of it. What do you guys think about the current state of the WWE in terms of like their booking? Obviously, they've had golden periods with Triple H, but this doesn't seem to be one of them.
I will say the highs with Triple H are very high, and the lows are very low with Triple H booking.
I agree.
I want to give a great example. SmackDown. Oh my god, that shit was ass.
Yeah, this past SmackDown was
horrendous.
dreadful.
Everyone, whoever was at the VC with me, everyone fell asleep or left. That's how ass it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't watch it live.
I don't know. I don't know what Triple H thinks this time of year is, but I'm sorry. I love wrestling. That's my favorite sport. Wrestling always gonna be my favorite sport. When you're putting on SmackDowns like that, there is no way that I would watch SmackDown over the NBA playoffs when you're booking shit like that. There's no way. Like, you got the NBA playoffs going on right now, and you booking the shows that you booking, bro. You don't want people to watch. There's no way. Triple H must not want anybody to watch the product, bro. I'm sitting there, I'm watching SmackDown. I'm like, damn, ain't there a game on tonight? I gotta turn this shit off.
Do you think SmackDown's suffering from just like
being 3 hours?
Not that's okay. But the other thing is star power.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is no star power on SmackDown.
I blame Netflix for that one.
There is like, don't get me wrong. Like I think like, and I think but this is crazy. But the U.S. title division is carrying, and I think it's gonna carry for the foreseeable future with Jacob Fatu at the helm. They're integrating this solo Sikoa storyline into it as well, which obviously is gonna get a payoff. I'm gonna say maybe at SummerSlam. But that seems to be what's carrying the load right now, because even the SmackDown Women's Division is, I mean, you have all of these stories kind of, by the way, what the fuck are we doing? Not Nia Jax? Again? Oh my God. But look, like, and that night, right? Even that night, right? I'm looking at Lil Jock's tweet. Not tweet, comment. The Warriors and Rockets game was bad that night. Warriors got their ass whooped, and SmackDown was worse than that. And I don't even think it's the actual quality of the show, because I think there was great wrestling. I think, you know, Ray Phoenix and Santos Escobar was a pretty good match. I think they started off the night on fire. The first two matches were Fraxium and Pretty Deadly. And what was the first match? LA Knight, Damian Priest.
LA Knight and Priest.
And like those two matches, and then the match at the back half of the show, and then Randy kind of promo. Those four things were pretty interesting, right? Everything else just felt like a bunch of nothing. The main event felt like nothing. The match was good, pretty decent, but it was nothing. A lot of the show just felt like nothing, and I think a lot of it has to do is, well, first off, you don't have John Cena on the show. Okay, that's one. Roman Reigns is nowhere to be found, and he's not going to be anywhere to be found until June. Look, that's an issue for me. Not that Roman Reigns isn't on the show, is that why should I have to rely on Roman Reigns when I know damn well he's not going to be there a lot? This is an issue on Triple H as to where are your other main event level talent on SmackDown? Look, Kevin Owens, it's unfortunate he's gone, and you know, we don't know when he's coming back. But the main event division is so thin. Cody Rhodes isn't around. We don't know when he's coming back.
CM Punk isn't around anymore as well.
Well, CM Punk's a Raw guy.
Yeah, but you know,
and honestly, I think
is going to hurt the product.
Yeah, but CM Punk's a Raw guy, so it's like, you know, Roman's the one more that shows up on SmackDown. Roman's a free agent. I think Punk is actually drafted to Raw. But you know, and then it's like, where are your main event level talent, man? Like I can't think of anybody outside of like Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. And well, Kevin Owens is gone, and Cody Rhodes is on a little hiatus right now. Obviously, he's been doing phenomenal work. I don't even remember the last time he even took time off. So this is, I mean, have at it. And then Randy Orton is obviously in a feud with John Cena right now. But that's it.
And then what's there to do for Randy after the Cena feud? Nothing.
So who's gonna challenge? Who's gonna challenge John Cena?
Yeah, that
SmackDown was so bad, I didn't care about Aleister Black's debut match. I literally went to go get a sandwich.
I'm nervous
I
about
watched
him.
the show, but I didn't care at all about it.
I'm very nervous about him. I don't know how Triple H is gonna book him. I really don't know. He was booked really well. He's a very big Triple H guy back in NXT. Maybe him doing the face off with Carmelo Hayes give me a glimmer of hope, you know, because I really do think those guys. But you're not building Andrade. I think Andrade could fit very well into the. I really do think he could fit very well into the main event scene as kind of just like a guy that just another block into like another win for John Cena, right? Like I mean I don't know. You're not building these guys. You're not building anybody to be a main event guy. Jacob Fatu, I mean, he could probably be the closest one, but he's obviously, he's a U.S. champion now. LA Knight should be in the main event scene. What are we doing? Why is he still fighting for the U.S. title?
Hey, can he stop fighting for that title, bro? He already lost.
Why is Drew McIntyre
fighting for the U.S. title?
You know who should be fighting for the U.S. title? Ray Phoenix, Carmelo Hayes, The Miz.
LA Knight should be in that main event scene, but Triple H wanted to bullshit with him for years on end and fucking make him win that dumbass battle royal at SummerSlam in 2023 when he should have been competing for the U.S. title a year earlier. Thankfully, he didn't lose any of his momentum, and he's still hot to this day. But it's like, what are we doing with LA Knight, bro?
I wish I knew.
Like LA Knight should be in the main event scene along with Drew McIntyre, and you swap those two guys out with Ray Phoenix, Santos Escobar, and you can throw in Carmelo. Those guys should be fighting for the U.S. title, not Drew McIntyre, and not Damian Priest. Same thing, get him, bro. Why? Like, can we get Damian Priest to go out and have a feud with John Cena or something? Like I really do think Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight, the three guys that are fighting for the U.S. title at Backlash, do not belong in the U.S. title division. They're above that. They're above it.
Oh, man.
I think, again, you hit it right on the head. You just named, you just reshaped that whole both divisions. So it's crazy that SmackDown. It's crazy that SmackDown is using those guys. It's like legit. They just, if you swap, you can have a whole different show, and who knows what we would think of SmackDown then. I still think the biggest issue with SmackDown still outside of the roster and how it's booked at the moment. I still think the biggest issue is the 3 hours thing. I think obviously if all this, I don't want to say all the stars is on Raw, but if Raw is stacked as it is, and then you have guys out like Roman, like KO on SmackDown, but you still have a 3 hour show to book, it just the ratio to talent to the 3 hours that's what I think is fucking SmackDown. It's not a good ratio. And again, if you just switch how the divisions are laid out right now, the show could be looking totally different, and who knows how we would think of it within those 3 hours. You know what I mean? But that's just how I feel. He just has them in the wrong spots, and then again, it's just unfortunate about KO and Roman. I think needs to spend a little less time off, but that's not normal. I mean, that's normal. We always say that. So,
but that's what the thing is. Like, I shouldn't have to rely on Roman to come back to save. Like, that's why you have other people on the roster, and if you're not doing a service to them, like, I could blame this on Roman all I want. But to be quite honest, do you want Roman in a world title match? I know I don't.
Nope.
So, it's more of like, just trying to reshape these divisions, because the three guys that are fighting for the title what's up, Lisha? The three guys who are fighting for the title for that U.S. title, they're above that. I mean, sure, granted, it could be that it's because Randy Orton right now is obviously, fighting for the title. And I would sure hope that, maybe Triple H does find it within him that after Backlash, maybe those three guys do actually move up, right?
Mhm.
Because outside of Randy Orton, what are you going to do? John Cena's going to feud with Cody Rhodes until SummerSlam? I don't think so.
I hope not.
Yeah, they gonna
And here's the thing: John Cena is advertised for every pay-per-view leading into SummerSlam. Who's he gonna face at Saturday night's main event? Who's he gonna face at Night of Champions? Who's he gonna face at Money in the Bank? Who's he gonna face who's he gonna face at all these pay-per-views? Because I don't know. Well, he's gonna go run a trilogy with Randy Orton?
I hope not.
I would hope not.
Yeah,
I mean, they've already built it as one last time.
Yeah, don't
go back on that. Don't go back on
Twice
that. Don't be like
twice last time.
Don't go be like, oh yeah, it was one last time, but I think we could add another more. No.
Make the mistake you did with The Rock.
What are you gonna do? CM Punk? CM Punk's caught up in a storyline for the summer. I don't see CM Punk fighting I know a lot of people want to see it, but I don't see him fighting for it because he's currently caught up in another storyline.
Maybe he can still fight it while Seth or Braun screws him over. Simple as that. I don't know.
I mean, they could do that,
but even then,
and maybe that ties into them working. But I mean, from what they've told us, I don't think they're working with The Rock as of right now. Maybe that comes later down the line. But as of right now, I think they're doing their own thing.
Get The Rock out of here.
Yeah.
Ball-headed fraud.
But yeah, no, like the divisions need massive retooling. And yes, there's not enough star power, but this is where you build guys up. When Roman Reigns isn't around, when Cody Rhodes isn't around,
this is where you cook with the draft.
Yes, and this is where 3 hours would be great, right? Because then you have more time to build up these stars. And I think, look, I will say this: 3 hours has benefited the tag team division the most. The 3 hours has benefited that division the most because they've gotten the most out of it. That division, since 3 hours has taken over, has become the best tag team division potentially in the world. Yeah, I find it hard to believe that there's any tag team division as great as that one right now. In any promotion, line them up. I don't think so.
I think so. I think that, yeah, I got it.
What are people going to say? AEW? The Young Bucks? the Young Bucks?
Brother.
I think that the 3 hours has benefited them. I think it should have benefited the women a lot more, but it really hasn't because Tiffany's been kind of stuck in Nia Jax and stuff and Charlotte Flair stuff and none of it has been good. I was fine with Nia Jax last year, and then now we're tossing her back into this Tiffany Stratton stuff, and obviously she didn't lose clean to Tiffany, so but I like how they're intertwining Jade and Naomi into this whole storyline. I hope if they're gonna do this match at Backlash, I hope it's a fatal 4-way and not just an. I don't want to see Nia Jax and Tiffany. Oh no, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, we've seen that plenty of times. That's been most.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to see that. But yeah, what else do you guys think about the
for
product?
SmackDown? I'm gonna say it before when the TV deals came out. Both SmackDown and Raw should have been under the same TV deal, like Peacock or Netflix. But guess what? SmackDown's under USA, and look how it is. It's like Lee said earlier. Netflix has taken a part in it because Netflix is like, hey, I want all of the good talent because we want money, and here we are now.
I do have one thing to say about SmackDown is. So obviously, SmackDown is going back to 2 hours next month in June, just before Money in the Bank.
It needs to be now.
Yeah, how about now?
That tag team division is going to take a big hit when they go back down to 2 hours, I think.
Yep.
And it sucks to see because they have genuinely been cooking with that tag team division.
So I feel like SmackDown needs to get on Netflix in the US very soon. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why they didn't do it in the fucking first place, but we need to put that shit everywhere on Netflix, everywhere, including the USA.
I will say this, Leah, to your point about the SmackDown tag division may take a hit when it goes to 2 hours. I'm low-key, if it takes a hit, but the overall SmackDown show gets better overall, I'll take that sacrifice.
Yeah, I agree there.
I don't think
That
it'll
has
take a
to be
massive hit.
overall.
I don't
Yeah.
think it'll take a massive hit. If it takes a
It
hit,
will
I don't think
it will take the biggest hit though.
Yeah, but I don't think I think the division is stacked enough and good enough for it to still prevail and still move forward and be good. So I think the whole issue was you didn't really have storyline centered. You didn't have like they've had the building blocks and they've built it up, and now it's just kind of keeping the ship steady. And I think they can keep it steady with all the talent that they do have, and especially now you're adding a tag team like Fraxium that is gonna get built up over the next couple of months.
Should be on
We'll be fine. Well, I think the SmackDown tag division will be fine if it moved back to 2 hours. I'm not really too worried about them, but they have benefited the most. But I don't think they'll lose much if and when WWE does move back to 2 hours. What other product stuff do you guys have things to comment about? Because
Roman
obviously
being
SmackDown's
gone is, I guess, could hurt it. Yeah, but we're not shocked. It's Roman Reigns. Other than that, I really got nothing to say. Put SmackDown on Netflix ASAP because clearly Netflix is playing a pretty decent toll on SmackDown.
Lee.
Nothing really.
SmackDown on Netflix ASAP, please.
Tommy?
No, I just think it's just something that's, and I hope June is gonna get better. I'm hoping. I'm assuming.
Okay, hold on. Do any of you guys watch NXT?
I do.
Yeah,
I watch it a
I
lot.
watch it
Okay.
sometimes.
How do you feel about the product in NXT currently?
What are we going to do in the main event of the Mets?
I think that's the main issue, the biggest issue. But I will say this: I think outside of Raw, of course, I think it's a better book show than SmackDown at the moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But my question is, what Oba doesn't have a lot of people left, and we all know the end goal, which I'm pretty sure is going to be Javon taking it off Oba. What are we going to do until then?
I think
we
they're
gonna
just
do it
going to
very
throw a bunch of TNA guys at him.
Well, that can only work for so long.
That can only work for so long, and they only been putting Oba in triple threat matches.
Right.
Which is weird.
It is odd, but I think Ricky Stanks is gonna eventually drop that North American title. I think he's next up, of course, in just terms of being a main event guy on NXT. I think he's obviously a guy that needs to be thought about and put into that division. But outside of that, you guys are right. Who else down there?
And I
really
also
has that really has that main event feel. You know, at least potentially that main event feel. There's not really too many guys outside of Ricky Saints to me at the moment on that roster that can really succeed, or I guess continue to go upward towards that NXT championship and look, believable because Oba's up there right now.
Oba's up there, and they're already putting Javon. They're building him up. The question is, when are they going to do it? Are they going to do it soon, or are they going to drag it out? I don't know. But I want to go to Alex Alberto's comment. The women's division will definitely be fine because, as we all know, a very hot women's free agent, Mariah May. I feel like she's coming to the E. Now the question is, will she go to NXT or main roster? I guess we'll find out. Hopefully NXT first. Hopefully.
We'll see. But Alex said Oba has to fight Dark State and the LFG guys.
Oh, yeah, they do.
The LFG guys. See, that's crazy.
Wow. But the LFG guys, though, I mean, Dark State, you could build up, I guess, Saquon or Dion, whichever one you want to build up. You could build them up and have them fight Oba, I guess. But even then,
that still isn't, like, we know Oba's not losing to a couple of LFG guys, bro. And we know that.
And we all know Oba's not going to lose anytime soon. So that's my point. Like, what? It's getting weird. It's getting wonky.
NXT needs some help.
It needs some help.
That main event thing.
Especially with these releases, I guess. But I don't know.
NXT does need help. I think anything outside of the women's division, I think they're fine. The women's division is probably the strongest part of it.
My God.
And it's going to keep getting strong, especially if Mariah May touch foot in NXT. Even if it's for a few months, like it seems to be Julia and Stephanie.
You know who they gotta, and Julia's probably, gonna get called up, whatever. She's probably already, she's probably, gonna get called up pretty soon.
I think the stuff they've been doing with Stephanie and Julia and Roxanne on the main roster would not surprise me if they're all permanently on the main roster by SummerSlam.
Well, Stephanie, I think is the only one that's left off of that because I think Stephanie's I think she's the NXT Women's Champion. I don't see her losing anytime soon.
She's not, unfortunately.
Braun was
But-
on the main roster while he was still NXT Tag Team Champion.
Who?
Braun Breaker. He was still the NXT Tag Team Champion while he was on the main roster for months.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
I think
Yeah.
the NXT women's roster is so strong though. If Triple H is like, nah, we want Stephanie. I think Sean has a pretty good list of ladies that can just kind of beat Steph and it would
Yeah, Stephanie
crazy.
I know someone that could beat Steph. Yeah, pretty sure me and Tommy both know the answer.
Ha! Yep, Jada Grace agenda being pushed. Go ahead, Stephanie. See you on Raw, buddy.
Yes. But
they
yeah.
got I think. Go ahead, Ghost.
Other than that, to answer Rod's question, I think NXT's fine outside the men's division. Main men's division, it's getting wonky. Badly.
They have to. I want them to move up. Tony D into that main event because obviously I think a feud with him and Oba would be great, especially because he beat Oba. He beat Oba. Like he beat him for the NXT North American title. What better way than to, have them feud, but for the NXT title? They had great matches. They had a great feud. That's another one because if you're just gonna keep putting him with Trick Williams and Javon Evans, I mean, that'll get boring at some point.
Bro, y'all know how I feel about Tony D, bro. I definitely think Tony D. When we talk about NXT, bro, I think listen. I love Shawn Michaels as a booker. I think 2023 NXT was one of the most consistently fun pro wrestling programs I've watched.
Yes, oh my God, it was.
But when we talk about like the decisions, and I don't believe it was Shawn's decision to release 2 out of the 4 people out of Metaphor, but they're just doing stuff that like just makes 0 sense. 0 sense.
So
let's look at the facts. The family breaking up, like, okay, maybe you see something in Stacks and Luca, yada yada yada. But we're gonna look back on this, and we're gonna say the family's shouldn't have broken up. You heard it here first, bro. We're gonna look back on it. We're gonna say the family shouldn't have broken up.
I'm with Jay on this one. The family has so much potential to be a great heel faction, but
bro, I've always said if the family was on the main roster and they up the shenanigans, bro, like paying off refs, doing shit like APA style shit, bro. There's no reason why the family should not be a Hall of Fame faction, bro, if booked properly. And Tony D is not bad. Stacks is not bad. Luca is not bad. And these are all people that can get better. Like, yes, Tony D might already be considered like older than most in NXT, but I believe they got it like that. Now, let's look at Chase U. Oh my God!
The future tag team got
rid of Chase U
for Ridge Holland.
Ridge Holland story that went nowhere, and then what they do? Brought Chase U back. Oh, now Duke Hudson's not here. Now what they about to do? Get some more people from Chase U when Duke Hudson was perfectly fine where he was. Oh my God, bro. And now Metaphor.
Metaphor.
Yeah, I want to say something about the Chase U. It's the fact that they just brought back Chase U and they had the perfect chance to put Riley Osborne back in it, but they released him.
And they fucking
Noam Dar returns. Wins the Heritage Cup.
Return.
Everything looks back to normal. Now what happens? Lash Legend breaks up Metaphor, bro. Metaphor breaks up for no reason. Metaphor could have been something great. Metaphor could have been something so fire on the main roster. I believe in Metaphor. I believe in all 4 of those people. Oro Mensa, fucking Noam Dar, Lash Legend, Jakar Jackson. Jakar Jackson didn't even get a chance, bro. Jakar Jackson had to get so much better. She was literally just booked in a pay-per-view match on TNA, and I actually thought they was about to win, bro. Obviously they didn't, but it's neither here nor there. Jakar Jackson, she has evolved much more from the eye candy she was when she first came into the business, bro. And that's not even an insult. That's literally facts. Niggas only saw her as eye candy, bro. We had to open our eyes. If Lash Legend was an NXT for a pound, and she's evolved so much. I was literally talking to someone earlier because they was hating on Metaphor, and they was like, oh, Lash Legend's garbage. I had to check this nigga. I'm like, bro, this is not 2023, bro. That take is not getting off. Lash Legends is nowhere near bad.
I think
Especially, I don't understand how you could watch the feats that she's doing and not see something in Lash Legend. Obviously, they see something in Lash Legend, but I think
I think
her,
she's a good future women's good world champion at one point. She could be.
it is, bro. Especially if she continues this trajectory, her versus
She
Bianca,
definitely will
her
be, bro.
versus Rhea.
Oh
I
my
see these
god.
powerhouse matches that could potentially go crazy. Right, these
Yes.
matches could go crazy, bro. But we let that's 3 factions that NXT did dirty, bro. Obviously, Chase you back now, but stop doing that. That's 3 factions that NXT did dirty, bro.
It's a
Crazy,
shame, man. But
crazy. It's ridiculous, man.
there was a comment that Ant said, yeah, you could bring down some main roster guys. I mean, Shinsuke versus Oba. Shinsuke's washed, but I guess give Oba something to do.
Shinsuke in 2025.
But that's
Not gonna lie, I've heard
Shinsuke,
that
though.
Shinsuke's not signing a new deal with WWE,
I mean,
and I think they're
it's
gonna be
over.
keeping him on
It's
TV.
over for that nigga. So
I'm surprised he didn't get released. I ain't gonna lie.
He's past his prime. Well, yeah, he's past his prime, bro. Doesn't matter where he go. He not. It's over.
he's just
But-
there for filler at this point.
Is it crazy to say, right? I don't know why. For like Shinsuke, I know a lot of people talk about his booking. I feel like he's been coasting. He worked he worked a lot of years of strong style. I feel like he came to WWE to relax.
Mm-hmm.
Strong style is a very
Hard-hitting
high
sport.
level. It's very high level wrestling, right? And it takes a lot out of you, actually, quite frankly. I really do think Shinsuke kind of came to WWE to really finish off his career and really kind of just dial it back a bit. I like looking back at his career now. That is my overall take on Shinsuke's WWE run. Is I really do think he just came here, make money, and kind of just coast. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people see this version of Shinsuke because they've seen it for him from They've seen it from him for years. But I really do think that is Shinsuke's completely content. If Shinsuke wasn't content, we would have probably known by now.
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of people like to, like, oh, I want Shinsuke to go to AEW. Well, he could have done that several years ago. He hasn't.
You really want Shinsuke to go to AEW?
And he hasn't signed a new deal, and he's not going to sign a new deal. I really do think with Shinsuke not signing a new deal, I think he's retiring. There's nothing left for him to do in pro wrestling.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I did some thinking about Shinsuke Nakamura, and I know, what I'm saying, I'm one of the people who have slandered him, who have said, "Damn, Shinsuke." I've also defended him and said, "Yo, I believe Shinsuke could still be that guy." Okay, that's good, baby. I still believe Shinsuke could be that guy, but I was really thinking about it, and that's good. You're looking better than Lee.
Oh wow.
Oh.
The stray.
I honestly believe I'm gonna say it like this. Wait, Kelly, wait. I'm gonna put it like this, bro. Honestly, I really don't blame Shinsuke for the work that he's produced over the past few years. I really don't blame him. Like Ross said, that nigga been working. He's been taking straight neck shots for years, bro. And then he comes to WWE, he gets to work a safer style. Like, I'm really thinking about, like, obviously, I guess Shinsuke ruined his legacy a little bit. Like, it could be considered that he ruined his legacy a little bit. But at the same time, niggas not gonna forget none of Shinsuke's Japan work. I'm sorry, bro. That's just a fact. Niggas they're not gonna look back on Shinsuke's Japan work and be like, I mean, this shit was fire, but look what he did in WWE. Like, bro, this nigga, like, when we look fondly on people's careers, like, yeah, they have the lows, but they never gonna forget the highs. Everything that Finn Balor going through right now, nobody's ever going to forget that he's the originator of one of the biggest and greatest factions in the history of this sport. Nobody's gonna forget that. Nobody can ever take that away from him. So when you look at Shinsuke, when you're thinking about Shinsuke Nakamura's mentality, okay, he's a multi-time mid-card champion in WWE, multi-time tag champion. Almost everywhere he's been, he's won. He's a very decorated superstar. Like, in hindsight,
he competed for a world title at WrestleMania
and lost.
Whether he, but that's the thing. No, it doesn't matter if he lost. He competed for the biggest prize in the company, not the world heavyweight title. He competed for the WWE championship on the biggest show of the year. Forget what people think about that match, whether he lost or he won. He competed for the biggest prize on the biggest stage. That's a win.
Oh, that is a win.
Did Finn Balor compete for the biggest prize on the biggest stage? No. Clearly they saw something in Shinsuke. Sure, like the last 5-6 years haven't gone great for him, but he started off very hot in WWE from NXT into the main roster. People just like to focus on the bad, bro. That's literally what it is. They like to be like, "Oh yeah, that match was bad." Guess what? How many people have really come? How many people can say they've come into WWE and competed for the biggest prize on the biggest stage? I can't think of many. Indie talents.
Very few.
Very few.
And that was Vince, by the way. Vince.
Yeah, we know how Vince is when it comes to people that don't speak English well.
Exactly. I mean, like, you know, he did. And you know, and look, the last 5 years, I think he's really been coasting. He's done the work. He's put in the work. He's put in the time.
And even when he was coasting Raw, guess what he still competed for? A world title.
Bro, he literally had a great feud with Seth.
He had a great feud, oh my god.
With some great matches in there. And reminded people of his greatness. He doesn't need to be great 365 days of the year anymore. He's already been through that. His legacy is stamped. He had a pretty good run to start off his career in the WWE. You don't need to be great for so many years. He was great in a whole nother promotion, came to WWE because he wanted to make more money and try something new. He was great for a while, slowed down, and then reminded people in the twilight of his career 2 years ago that he was still that guy. I talk shit about Shinsuke. I literally just said Shinsuke in 2025. But guess what? He's one of the greatest of all time.
Oh, that's interesting.
He is. In Japan.
Yeah, I was about to say in Japan.
No, like literally all time.
Oh, you're including all of wrestling together.
Yes.
Okay, alright, yeah.
His legacy is stamped, bro. Like, just because you do good in like, you don't have to be from WWE to be the greatest of all time.
Well, yeah, no.
And like his legacy alone in New Japan, it writes itself. And then he was great for like what, 2, 3, maybe 4 years in the WWE. He has a legacy. Jay, I don't know if you're there. You want to kind of harp on that? I don't know if you're there.
May not be here.
Yeah, I don't think Jay's there.
Okay. Obviously, we're on the topic of product. Hold on. Yeah, muted his mic.
Yeah, we kind of heard Shinsuke, and we are now.
So, speaking on the topic of product, I just want to say somebody who's benefited a lot from this current product is Io Sky. Io Sky has turned into shit. She's the best women's wrestler in the world.
Yes, she is.
She is becoming the superstar that Rhea Ripley was becoming about a year or two ago. That is what she's becoming right now. This is a woman who, back when Vince was running things, she was going to leave WWE. Triple H literally saved her career, bro. She had a little bit of a down period, you know, Damage Control. They were losing matches, whatever. But Triple H did right by her, and look at what she's doing now. Back-to-back years. Walked into WrestleMania as world champion. 1 year as women's world heavyweight champion. The next year as women's WWE champion. Right? Or, sorry, women's WWE champion.
Up the way around.
Yeah. So, But like both years, walked in as world champion, right? Obviously won, she lost, and then this year she won. But and look at her star power increasing week by week. She's being able to show her bag. She's
Dude,
being
people are
like,
doing her emote now.
yes, like
Oh yeah.
just
Yo,
because she
Rod,
doesn't,
Rod,
just because she doesn't speak English, don't mean nothing. You can turn somebody into a star. All it takes,
Rod, I couldn't hear you. Did you ask me to chime in? My
yeah,
apologies.
on that Shinsuke stuff.
Oh, I was just saying, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, bro, Shinsuke is always gonna be remembered. Like, yeah, for the WWE fans, they're not always gonna remember him the best. But when you look at wrestling, when you look at like wrestling on a scope, like we acknowledge the lows, but we also acknowledge the highs. Honestly, it's not gonna be like until 10, 15 years or so that people are really gonna start like shitting on Shinsuke and saying he's not that good. Like with what they did with Undertaker. And it's a etc. Now people say Undertaker not that good. Okay, bro. Like
They're lying. They're lying.
just stuff,
Liars.
just stuff like that. You know what I
Lying for
mean?
fun,
It's
I see.
like, but Shinsuke, I really don't blame Shinsuke because, like I said earlier, bro. Don't mean to keep repeating myself, but I've really just been thinking about it. Like, I 100% understand why he's done the work that he's done, and honestly, I think he's kind of beast for that, and makes me respect him more. That's how I feel about the Good Brothers. Like, I wish I could be employed for a company for years and do jack shit. I really wish I could do that.
That's real.
Well, Shinsuke's having the time of his life. He's getting paid to sit in catering. He's already done the work in the ring. What else does he need to do? What else does he need to prove to people?
And clearly, he's there whenever they need him. I guess.
Exactly.
So. Yeah,
They just crowned him U.S. champion not too long ago.
that was it
Awful
was
reign.
ass, but they just did, I guess. Oh man, I think we need to move on. We kind of got on this game. Wow,
But yeah, like the EO stuff. You know, and
That's
this comment right
wrestling.
here. To me, EO's not that over. I think she is over.
Whoa.
The reaction will tell you that in the crowd.
Over, and she's only being pushed to appeal to internet fans, but that's just my opinion.
Appeal the
Oh,
internet.
brother in Christ.
I do not know how to politely tell this person that he's saying bullshit.
I'll
Is that
say it
Hellfire?
for you.
Do
You
you
are
hear
saying
the crowd?
bullshit.
Do you hear the
No,
crowd?
Ghost. It might be Hellfire saying this.
I do
Might
not.
be.
I do not know how to politely tell that man that he is spewing nonsense.
Malarkey.
You can't ignore the crowd, bro. You just can't.
I just told y'all the crowd was doing her fucking emote at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you can't ignore the crowd, man.
They were literally doing it. They were cheering loud for her to do it.
But she's literally ascending superstardom like how Rhea Ripley was
And I'm gonna
about
say
a year
this,
or two ago.
This could have been Asuka if they done it correctly.
Yes.
This could have been Asuka, like a lot of people were saying. But
Oh yeah, Rod. I think I heard you earlier talking about EO. I think my connection started working. I got what's it called, WrestleSpot. You know that nigga got knocked out. He's sleeping on the Wi-Fi right now, so my shit was cutting in and out. But honestly, EO Sky, man, she's really been on the roll. She's really looking like the ace of the promotion. Like she's been everywhere. She's been on Raw. She's been on SmackDown.
Great words there.
God damn it, draw. God damn it, bro.
I blame Esco. This is his fault.
But like kind of going off of what he was saying, she is the ace of the promotion, bro. She's doing everything. Like she's probably, well, not probably. I think she's like currently, like outside of Rhea Ripley, she's probably the most over woman on the roster.
She's definitely one of the best right now.
Her work rate this year is insane, bro. Look at her catalog of matches this year. They're insane, bro. This woman is like, man, it's crazy to say, but I think I really do think this is her prime, and I think we're seeing it now. I know a lot of people like to revert back to NXT, but she wasn't this good. She was, don't get me wrong, she was great in NXT, but this is different.
Right now.
This is a different beast. This is really, really different. She's putting on, obviously, her storyline wise, she's doing great. I can't even say much about the wrestling because it's with her. It's like it's ridiculous, bro.
It's
And the crazy part
ABCD.
is the WWE doesn't even let her utilize her whole bag.
Right.
She just uses a limited amount. I don't think she should use her whole bag on like weekly shows. I really don't. On
Use it
pay-per-views, if you want to do that,
Some
go like
pay-per-views.
that's fine by me. But like, I don't, and I like the way WWE kind of uses her, where like, she doesn't use her whole bag on weekly. It just makes her a lot more special. It makes her a bigger attraction.
It shows
and
that
she's
under WWE restrictions, she's still that girl.
yeah, like, and she's working very well, bro. Who was saying it? Was it you, Ghost, that said this is what Oscar was supposed to be?
Yes, this is what Oscar was supposed to be, but they didn't fucking book her right. Damn.
Yeah. Then again, I think EO appeals to the eye more. She's high flying, dude. She's high flying. Who doesn't love a high flyer? Like, who doesn't love that? And I like, come on. Like, I just really do think that she appeals to the crowd more. That's just what it is.
Right.
I don't think Asuka appealed to the crowd at that point in time. Maybe she kind of did, but like,
She did at one point.
she
but
she
I can
did,
see
but
her
the
point.
WWE just didn't capitalize on her. And I think Triple H is now realizing like, we're not gonna do what WWE did to Asuka. We're gonna change the whole narrative and like really like let Io take the charge. She's gonna like take the lead and lead the women's division now.
Good for her.
I don't know if they rightfully so. She deserves it.
Good
She
for
does. All right. Well, that's product. We can get into the next one. All right. Next one.
TNA.
That's
Oh,
not next.
brother.
Not yet. There's one more.
God.
Production. So this is a big one. This is a big one because production-wise, not a lot of pyro anymore.
Take notes.
Obviously that's big, bro. That's really big.
Yeah.
What do you mean by not a lot of pyro anymore? Like, where would you
Very
start noticing?
selectively.
They're very selective with it, especially I was at WrestleMania. WrestleMania is supposed to be like.
Well, to be fair, I'm hearing Allegiant Stage's pyro shit was a bunch of nonsense and bullshit. So.
Well, WrestleMania 40 didn't have much pyro either, so.
But yeah, that's true.
So and some of these shows, what happened to like the other thing, like pyro, that's one thing. What happened in the opening intros, huh?
Oh my god, the machine gun pyro.
Yeah, like what happened to that? Like getting the theme song with the opening intro to the show. Now we just get a shot of the city and then people walking through backstage. I think that's a really cool aspect, people walking through backstage, but do it after the show intro, right?
Do it after all the pyro. They say welcome.
They've made the stages smaller nowadays. This is obviously all with TKO. I really do think TKO does play a huge part in this. Moving graphics. I feel like we've been asking for moving graphics for so many years. So that's one. They have brought it back in recent recent times. Yeah, Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw.
The only thing I've noticed them do it for was the Finn and Damien street fight.
They did it for they've done it for Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Since Raw has gone on Netflix, they've done it a couple of different times.
Raw, remember, Lee, Raw has more of a budget because
but Raw doesn't use. But now I think it's been like several. I think Raw has kind of shied away, like kind of not used it in the last like month or so. But like other like production issues, like the stages, something we've been asking for years. Like you have all this money now, and the stages are progressively getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
I think SummerSlam is only gonna have like a little, like just a little screen with the ramp and like
basically like I was doing for the past few years.
Like you can do more. Like if you want to make a small stage, you can do more. Just add more to it, right? I don't know. SummerSlam, like even I looked at the logo. Why is it silver? It's a party of the summer, bro. Like what are we doing? The biggest party of the summer.
I missed the star.
Yeah.
I missed the big S, when they used to do the big S or like the star, like you just said. Like the production has, obviously the production in terms of like the camera work maybe has increased, right, and has gotten better. Not as many camera cuts, but then you got other stuff like show intros isn't really a thing anymore. We don't really do moving match graphics. The stages are progressively getting worse every year. I mean, I don't know. You guys can probably think of other production things, but that's just a couple of things off the top of my head. But I don't know. I feel like TKO has done a disservice to the WWE in that aspect of things. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. It's kind of strange because they touched on it earlier with all the money that you thought was, with all these advertisers, all this stuff going on, you would think that they would take a little more pride, I guess, into those, those little things, those little details, the logos, the little things, because those things do matter, man. It overall, it just makes the product look better. I remember we used to have a big issue with the WrestleMania logos and how they've fallen off. And there was a brief time where they have fallen off crazy. It was almost the same logo for the, each individual year almost. But yeah, that's a big deal. It seems small, but no, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
But to be fair, though, like I understand why the stages for these shows are getting smaller, because it fits more people into the stadium. Like these stadiums, these arenas, and all that, it fits more people in.
More people you can charge ridiculous prices to, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're small, though, I feel like you can do a little bit more. I feel like you can do a little bit more than just a fucking screen.
I will say,
True.
the WrestleMania stage this year, it was very smart to add seats onto the actual set for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that was smart.
Cool. Yeah, that was cool.
That was smart. That was. Gus, you have anything to say about production?
Let's make these stages better, more moving graphics. That's about it.
But yeah,
Sounds good.
That's all I got.
Okay, so with production out of the way, now we can move into TNA talk.
This is your domain, bro.
Obviously, TNA. A report just came out the other day that they're trying to completely. I don't know. Is it that they're trying to completely remove blood, or is it that they're just trying to kind of limit it? What is it, Tommy? Is it limiting, or is it taken away?
So it seems like the corporate wording, I guess, was to limit it, but because of the history that Anthem and TNA fans, the relationship we have absolutely no doubt in my mind that they mean that we'll never see it again. It's just they stay limiting, but again, we all are all kind of in agreement that we're probably not gonna see blood too often anymore.
I do understand why this is happening. Obviously, they're trying to look for a TV deal. And I think with the partnership with the WWE, I said this months ago when the WWE had become working partners with TNA, that the WWE was going to be trying to land TNA a TV deal. I do think that if you really want to get a nice TV deal with some nice sponsorships, which I really do think TNA is on the rising, and I think they're going to capitalize. Bro, I think they should capitalize with all of these women that the WWE has released, the Dakota Kais and stuff like that. I mean, look, they just got Indy Hartwell. And let the women's division really lead the charge. You'd really separate yourself from any other company if you let your women's division really lead the charge. But I really do think that because TNA is on the rise, slowly but surely, and it really is. I really do think TNA is on the rise right now. You kind of need to dial it back on certain things. It is very unfortunate, at least until you can get a TV deal. You kind of gotta, and I do feel like WWE is playing a part in this because they are working partners, and maybe they have told TNA, hey, you want a TV deal? You're gonna have to dial it back a little bit. And and look, this is great. Business-wise, it means your wrestlers could get paid more, and it means more eyes. So if both of those things is what you want, then dial it back a bit. Look at what AEW had to dial back on the cursing. Couldn't curse as much. They don't even do blood nearly as much on weekly shows. They do it on pay-per-views. I remember AEW in 2019 used to do blood. 2019, 2020 used to do blood pretty frequently.
I'm pretty sure it was like every match there was blood involved.
Yes. They had to completely dial it back because of TV deals.
And that is they have Max too.
Yeah, like that is why. And now TNA, I think, is trying to do the same thing. Tommy, how do you feel about this? And then we'll go to Lee and Ghost.
As a TNA fan, this kind of it hurts. I mean, this is what when TNA first became a company and they first really started to kind of go up and in its golden era, its golden age, people like to say, that was kind of the big thing, just how crazy the spots were. Not necessarily just how bloody it was. I'm not even necessarily saying that, but just how unique and how TNA did not care to try new things, and they would because it was just whatever.
6 out of the ring.
6 out of ring, things like that. So it's just one of those things. As a TNA fan, it kind of hurts. It kind of stings. I understand the fans that look at it and be like, "Oh, TNA has sold us soul to the corporate land or whatever the case may be." I completely understand that. I completely understand if that's how you feel. But at the end of the day, if you are a real TNA fan, you should also understand that they just want to compete. They want to be that third legit North American brand, and the only way to really do that is to play by the rules. And quite frankly, the previous way TNA used to, handle their matches and how often they used to do extreme matches and things like that, it just isn't what the majority of the people want to see. And it sucks as a TNA fan, but again, if you're a TNA fan, you should understand that this is only going to help TNA in the future. We wanted to be on TV, right? We want to be easier to access. This is the first step in making that happen. So that's exactly how I feel. But
Ghost.
If y'all want that TV deal or you want a bigger deal, it has to be a sacrifice.
Gotta sacrifice.
I basically just agree with what Tommy and Ghost have said.
Yeah, you gotta sacrifice something, and quite frankly, it's because you have the potential to be that third legit brand. It's not. I don't even want to sit here and act like. I mean, we see what Joe Hendry's doing. Granted, he may not stay there too much longer, but we see what he's doing. So you have the ability if you can book or if you can find that gimmick, which you can. We've seen it before. If you can find that guy that has that gimmick, you can actually take that and go far with it. TNA's not bad at booking either. Yes, they have their flaws, just like every company. It's just not a lot of people are seeing it, and that's how we change that. We got to play by the rules now. Which, I mean, yeah.
I'll let you take off take this one off. Take off with this one, Tommy. TNA Rebellion. Go ahead and talk about TNA Rebellion.
Yes, what a show that was. It was actually quite a bit of some NXT talent was on this show actually. In Las Vegas.
Oh, are we talking about TNA Rebellion?
Yeah, Lee, you was a part of it too.
Yeah, I was there. I was on the watch log.
And it was actually your first show. So Lee, tell them how you kind of felt about it since this is kind of your big first show. So
this is my first big TNA show. It was good. Main event was phenomenal. Right ending, and then Rick Williams.
What a great guy.
Williams.
He said, "What a great guy."
Production. Can we just bring him down? Ruining.
I'm coming right back up.
Moment. I'm just disappointed at that ending, but the whole show in general was good, amazing.
I'm trying to pull up my results right now, but
are we getting the Tommy Star ratings?
Do you guys want the Tommy Star ratings?
Yes.
That's up to you.
Every TNA pay-per-view
Okay.
going forward, we must have the Tommy Star rating.
Okay, well, you guys might not like some of these. We don't do countdown shows. No countdown shows. Oh, Jay, you're back. Are you back?
Hey, play Mesco.
He's back and he doesn't have a top on.
Bro's by the shower.
We're talking about Rebellion.
Man, Rebellion, man. Rebellion, Tommy, you giving your star ratings?
Yeah, do you want to give your star ratings with me?
New segment. Tommy Star ratings.
Well,
yep, every week.
What was the opener?
The opener looked like
the X Division.
Oh, it was the X Division.
The X Division.
We had a star made too. Go ahead, Jay.
Probably give the X Division match. I mean, the Ultimate X match. My apologies. A calm 3.75 for Calm 3.75. Great match. Unexpected winner. I like the way that Moose won. It was a way to piss a lot of people off, myself included.
It worked. Yeah.
Yep.
I really liked the way Moose won. That was a great match. What was next?
No, wait. Let me get my star rating on that.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, but you kind of. I was in around the 3.7 area as well, 3.5. I think the big highlight of this match was that Leon Slater's spot, and thank God he was okay because the TNA guys kind of failed to catch him, but that was a hell of a match. So I give it a 3.7.
Not gonna lie, the way Moose won, it perfectly sets up a way for Leon Slater to win the title from Moose.
Oh yeah, that's the overall goal. That's our, like I said, I've been saying this. Leon Slater is TNA's Javon Evans. He has a bright future. Bright future. People are comparing him to AJ Styles when AJ Styles is young. Like if they book him right. But anyways, that's a lot to kind of live up to. Next match was the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championship match. Ash and Heather by Elegance, Lash Legend, and now released Jakara Jackson, Spitfire, and also now released Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. Whew, that was a lot.
Well, Metaphor didn't go over. Because of that, we have to add the meta tax. So I'm gonna have to give that a calm 2.5.
That's fair. I was thinking 2, but I mean it's nothing against Ash and Heather by Elegance. Honestly, that gimmick is actually kind of fun and it's funny on TNA. Honestly,
The concierge is fucking hilarious, bro. Every time I see him, I'm dying, bro.
Yeah, he's a troll for sure. He's a troll for sure. But yeah, I'm giving that match a 2. Next match we had was the TNA International Championship. Steve Maclin versus Eric Young.
Man,
Yeah, I actually kind of like
crazy.
this match. Yeah, I'm about to say I actually really enjoyed this one, to be honest with you. W belt as well. Love the blue strap.
That belt is amazing.
That
Love
belt
the
is
blue
so
strap.
sexy, bro. Even though I thought AJ Francis should have won, but that belt is so sexy.
It actually matches. It's like this blue, literally. It's like a baby blue. But I would that one. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm not gonna put it above the Ultimate X match, bro. It's hard. I'm gonna be honest.
I ain't gonna lie, that Ultimate X match was fucking amazing. It's my match of the night.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put it over that, so I'm gonna give it. I think it's good at a 3.
I'm gonna have to skip ahead to a 3.25, just because I really liked Steve Maclin. Always gets a pop for me. Tag him, bag him. My nigga be going crazy. Steve Maclin, he been turning up for a hot little minute. I liked his small TNA World Title run before he lost to, I believe, Alex Shelley. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've always been a fan of Steve Maclin, always been a fan of Eric Young. Eric Young is still able to produce moderately good content in the year 2025. So not much I could ask for from those 2 wrestlers, but it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, the best match. So I'm going to have to give it a 3.25.
Lee, and you just said you thought the Ultimate X was match of the night. Well, here's my match of the night. Mike Santana versus Mustafa Ali.
Oh, I forgot about this match. No, this is I agree
bro.
here. I agree.
So Santana has been operating on a different level.
Bro.
I'm not going to hold you, bro. Tommy, when you're making your Wrestler of the Year bracket, bro, Santana, he's sneaking near the top.
You know what's crazy, Jay? He's low-key actually. If I could only have one guy in the bracket from TNA, I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of leaning over Joe just a little bit, just in terms of what he's doing at TNA alone. You know what I mean? Because Joe has the NXT and all that stuff, but if we're talking just what he's doing at TNA, Mike Santana is one of the most entertaining acts on TNA television right now.
Tommy, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there because you mentioned Joe Hendry.
But Joe Hendry again has the help of NXT. I'm just talking purely TNA television. Mike Santana has been doing a lot of good things.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
But I'll say for this match as my star rating, I mean, I don't want to give it a 5. I'm trying not to throw out 5s left and right. But goddamn, this one's close.
4.5.
Because the story was there. The story was amazing. One of the best stories TNA's told in a little while, just because of how they were willing to go to Mike Santana's AA recovery meeting, his alcohol recovery meeting. Like they were willing to go that far, you know. So I'll give it a high 4.75, bro. Like that, 4.8, 4.9. Like it's really high. Jay,
And I
what you
believe
think?
we're on to
Honestly-
Ghost's favorite TNA wrestler now.
Tommy, I really don't blame you because, man, saying like I really cannot say enough about Santana, bro. The work that Santana has been doing since he's returned to TNA. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Every TNA show I've watched within the past year, the match I'm looking forward to the most, it's not a Joe Hendry match. It's not a Sammy Callahan match. It's not even the Hardys, bro. It's Santana. I look forward to seeing Santana wrestle every time I tune into TNA, bro. And that just says enough. Because in a company such as TNA, where they're currently thriving again and currently have so many bright spots, Mike Santana is the one that I want to see, bro. Over Joe Hendry. Over Joe Hendry. Mike Santana, bro. In that ring, he's really like that. I'm not gonna hold you, Tommy. I'm gonna have to piggyback off your rating, bro. I don't know what it was missing. I can't give it a 5, but I don't know what it was missing. But man, that like I can't. I just get excited when I think about Santana, bro. Like he gets my loins going.
That's crazy. But nah, I mean, JS, I mean, if there was an award for like the most improved, I think Mike Santana's in like first place for that right now.
Rod, come here,
He does not
Trey,
need to be the
excited.
one to beat Joe.
But you can
no.
arguably say because how late it took TNA so long to put the title on him, you could have gave Joe that award last year, you know. Just saying. But the next match and TNA, thank God you did this. The next match was Masha Slamovich versus Tessa Blanchard for the knockout.
Oh, brother!
But guess what? They did not pull the trigger. Masha retained, chat. Masha retained.
W's in the chat.
Automatic 5-star match. Automatic 5-star.
Oh my God. I was so nervous for this one. I really thought it was cooked for Masha. I thought it was over with. Oh my God. But as far as the star rating, Tessa Tax is a real thing, so that match.
Well, was she
like
that? Automatic 5-star.
Yeah. If it was someone else, it would have been automatic 5-star.
Wait, is this the last pay-per-view before Slammiversary?
Nah, we got Under Siege. There's something else in between there as well. But
okay.
Yeah, because it's got the Tessa Tax, I'm giving this like a 2. Yeah, I'm hating. Jay, you can be honest or what, but I'm hating, and I'm proud to hate.
Ready?
Man, Tessa, I'm gonna say what I've said literally every week, bro. If Tessa just came out and said I'm sorry for being a bitch, I would not care, bro. But she continues to accept this heat and just not say anything for her actions, not absolve herself from her actions. So I just can't. I can't get on the program, even though Tessa Blanchard does need to come here. I just can't. Like. No, not right now. I just can't get with it right now. She could just eat that one because you already gave it to her. But shit,
Jay, did you already give it a star rating?
Man, I'll give that shit a 2, man.
Fair.
The co-main event: the Hardys versus the Nemeth brothers.
Yeah.
Where the Nemeth brothers defeated the Hardys.
I'm gonna just give that a 2.75 and call it a day, bro.
Jeff
looked,
Ryan.
Yeah, bro. The ending took me out. Honestly, it really hasn't looked that bad for real. Like the Hardys, niggas are gonna hate on them because they're older now, but the Hardys in their TNA run they have not looked that bad. Like they have not looked that bad.
Bro, I'm telling you, the Hardys for how old they are, bro, and the things they used to do and the spots they used to take, the way they move is not bad, bro. I think those people that are harsh on the Hardys, they're just chatting, bro. You gotta do you understand how old these guys are? You understand how long they've been doing this? But anyways, again, my only gripe with this match, because the match I felt like was pretty good for what it was. The match was pretty good. The only thing is they gave Ryan the pin, bro. They let him pin Jeff Hardy. Are you serious? That's my only gripe. And outside of that, I'm kind of with Jay. I'm around that 2.75 range. John said it was a 3. Glasgow said it was. Oh no, I don't think we'll talk about that one. Oh, was he? He said something was mid. Lee, I'm gonna let you go first. The main event.
5-star classic.
Oh my god.
5-star.
So it was a 3. It was a 3.
You didn't watch the pay-per-view, so you don't get an
It
opinion.
was a 3. It was a 3.
He said you don't get an opinion at all. That's crazy.
I
So-
do in the end.
Just because Lee just went straight to the star rating, the match had Joe Hendry, the teenage
Hold on,
champion.
let me hype this up.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
We had the former NXT champion, All Ego Ethan Page, a bum in Frankie Kazarian, and the second best TNA champion in history, facing off an instant classic triple threat match for the TNA World Title, where Joe Hendry emerged victorious. 5-star classic.
3 stars. 3 stars.
All right. Thank you for that, Lee. We appreciate
problem.
your
In all honesty,
opinions.
that main event was like a 3.5.
Ha ha.
No,
Called
5
it.
stars.
Called
5 stars.
it. Called it. 3 stars.
Nah, it was
Glasgow
a
even
decent
said
match.
the match was okay.
Bro, you know I be shooting for Joe Hendry, but we not gonna act like they was really doing some, like doing some shit in that match. I think the international championship match was better than that world title match.
Well, we can blame.
The triple threat with AJ, Macklin, and who was the third person?
Was it Ace Austin?
I don't even remember, but I think that was better than the world title match. But the world title match was good though. It was a good match. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we could blame Kazarian or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's blame Frankie Kazarian.
Hendry looked good.
My
Kazarian
thing
looked good.
is, they need to stop doing this stupid ass injury little bullshit with Joe. He can't be hurt forever. You know what I mean? He can't be hurt forever. So I need them to finish this up, whatever. Get past Trick Williams, and let's see what's next for this guy. Because Mike Santana is coming, and I think that feud, I don't know how they're gonna really do it because they're both kind of faces right now. But how real Mike Santana is, his character just seems like he would hate someone like Joe Hendry. How he's all company, all corporate, all for the like. It's just I just feel like that dynamic could really, really work. But we'll see. I'm with Jay. 3.5. 3.5.
Y'all are hating.
No, we're being honest, Lee. We're being honest.
What would y'all rate the show in general on a scale of 1 to 5
Like a
or 0 to
6.
5?
I'm giving it a 3.5. I'm giving the whole show a 3.5. I think the whole show was average, but a good average. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like look at it like this. You know, when you're in school, you know what I'm saying, you work hard on an assignment. Sometimes you work as hard as you can and you still get a C. You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like TNA did with this pay-per-view. Like they worked hard, you know, they put on some good matches and ended up only being a C. Now that's not to say that, you know what I'm saying, that's not to say that you're not gonna look at that assignment that you got a C on and be like, damn, I'm proud of that C. But it's like, you know, it's nothing to rave about. You know, it's a C.
Yeah, it'll get you through to the next one. It'll get you to the next assignment.
Like you passing the class, and you're absolutely not failing the class. But a C is a C.
Facts. And I will also say this as well while we're on the TNA topic. Granted, I know a lot of people may not know who these people are. I don't know who these people are. But TNA did make 3 signs or announced 3 people signed today. I think one was a luchador. I think his name was Octagon Jr., something like that. I don't know too much about him. If you guys do, then go for it. You guys already know Indy Hartwell has been signed. And they signed 2 more women, Harley Hudson and Myla Grace. Don't know who they are. Super young talent, super new talent. So I'm excited because, again, that's just a division that needs, you know, to be built up as the knockout.
Guarantee Esco knows who they are.
Money.
And AJ, for instance, is the next international champion. I just want y'all to know that. But, yeah, Jay got me on that bandwagon. He did.
All right. Anyway, what's next, Axel?
All right. Next
He gonna
up,
beat Joe Hendry.
next up is WWE doing too many pay-per-views. Now, from May to the end of August, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 pay-per-views in the span of 3 months.
In the span
God.
of those 3 months?
Yes.
God
Oh, yeah,
damn.
that's a lot. Never mind.
That's OD.
From May to the end of August, May, June, July. Yeah, so basically almost 4 months. There is 11 pay-per-views. And these are the pay-per-views as follows, right? Backlash, obviously this week. In about 2 weeks, you're going to get a special, obviously, Saturday Night's Main Event. They kind of treat it as a pay-per-view at this point. You're going to get Battleground. You're going to get Worlds Collide. You're going to get Money in the Bank. You're going to get Night of Champions. You're going to get Evolution. You're going to get another Saturday Night's Main Event. You're going to get Heat Wave. You're going to get SummerSlam. And you're going to get Clash in Paris.
God.
All of these, there's at least, at bare minimum, 2 pay-per-views every month. At least on the main roster, August has 2 pay-per-views in the same month. Not July. June has 2 pay-per-views in the same month.
July has like 3, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm just talking like main roster ones.
Oh right, yeah. Well, July doesn't have one yet.
July only has Evolution.
Is that confirmed yet?
It will be, but it's
the
the target date is July 5th. That's the target date, but yeah. Do you guys think this is a lot of pay-per-views in the span of almost 3 months?
Yes, that's a lot. That's
a lot of pay-per-views, man.
I don't know. Wow. I don't necessarily think I'm mad about it. It's just damn, like, sheesh.
Nah, Tommy sounds very mad about that. I ain't gonna lie.
I just think it's a lot. I don't ever want them to be oversaturated with content, but it's hard to think that could possibly happen. But I mean, that's a lot of pay-per-views, bro.
Bro, this is ridiculous. The Money in the Bank is June 7th. And then you have Night of Champions on June 28th, which is 3 weeks later. And then the week after Night of Champions, you're going to get Evolution. And then the week after that, you're going to get a Saturday Night's Main Event. Right? And then 2 weeks after that, you're going to get SummerSlam.
So my thing is, how many of those shows are about to take an insane creative hit because they don't have time in between the shows?
Bro, this is like literally the worst stretch. You're going to get from June 7th to August 2nd. So you're gonna get maybe 7 weeks there. You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4. You're getting 5 pay-per-views in the span of 7 weeks.
See, and how are you?
That is the
to
worst
book
stretch.
And build to all those. Yeah, how are you supposed to book and build them? How are you gonna do that?
And there's 3 where they're back-to-back consecutive weekends in Night of Champions, Evolution, and then you're gonna get Saturday Night's Main Event, which something needs to be booked for that, obviously.
I just don't understand.
John Cena.
I mean, maybe you guys can see the vision, but there's no way I can see.
That's 3 back-to-back, and then 2 weeks after Saturday Night's Main Event is SummerSlam.
That either is going to be a very exciting stretch of WWE television or a very hard to watch stretch of WWE television. Because I just don't understand how you can fit all that stuff in that amount of time. I just don't get it.
Hopefully excitement.
And then you're literally gonna turn around almost immediately to do 3 weeks after SummerSlam. You're gonna do Clash in Paris, where they're I think on tour in Paris.
Ass, by the way.
You're gonna do what a 2-week tour or a week tour in Paris or like in the UK 2-week tour.
They're doing it in Ireland, England.
It's 2 weeks,
Wales, and France.
It's a 2-week tour, right?
I think it's more in 3 weeks.
Yeah, like
3-week tour.
No more tours.
Yeah, no, man, that's a very concerning. One of these or 2 or 3 of these shows are gonna end up turning really bad.
I'm not complaining about this Paris tour. I won't be complaining one bit.
Dude, you're gonna get 3 pay-per-views back to back, and then SummerSlam. Potentially your second biggest show of the year 2 weeks after. That's concerning. That to me is very, very concerning.
Yep.
And then I'm not even talking about after Saturday Night's Main Event. I'm not even talking about NXT Heatwave, which is going to come a week or two later.
Yeah,
So
bro. Like I
we're
said,
we're
dude,
potentially
great.
going to have 5 consecutive weeks of pay-per-views for WWE.
Oh,
Consecutive
brother.
weekends.
5
5
weekends.
Or bad.
Yes. 5 consecutive weekends of pay-per-views for the WWE.
Gotta stay committed.
So
Oh
that
yeah,
is
you're not gonna sleep, Lee. No sleep for you.
that's a lot of pay-per-views.
Yeah, who
I
needs
hate
sleep
the-
for Lee?
I hate the W, and I've got to do this every Sunday as well. On top of that,
No, man.
Full time Lee. Full time Lee.
Just be like Esco.
I'm not trying to be like him. I'm trying to actually show that I'm committed to this.
Yeah, Mr. BTBC is not even here on BTBC.
If anything, I'm Mr. BTBC, but you don't see me giving myself the name. I don't need that name to be relevant on here.
Oh wow. Whoa.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay.
Oh, he takes shots at me on the podcast all the time.
Oh, that's interesting.
All right.
Man.
So now we can move on to the last part of the show, last segment of the show, which is the WWE Backlash predictions. This pay-per-view is next Saturday, and so far the matches confirmed are undisputed WWE Championship, billed as the last time ever. John Cena versus Randy Orton. We have the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Gunther versus Pat McAfee. We have the
R.I.P.
United
Pat.
States Championship, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest. So far there's 4 matches. And I can only assume that we're probably gonna get Jey Uso versus Logan Paul potentially tacked onto this. If not that one, I could see a scenario where we also do. I actually do think that match is going to get tacked on. But there is a possibility we could get maybe 6 matches on the show. Maybe we do get Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax, or maybe Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax versus Jade versus Naomi. I think that match could very well fit into this card. I don't know. Maybe we get. I don't know how Io Sky misses this card, which is actually kind of crazy. Maybe we get Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Julia and Roxanne. I mean, maybe that's something that they could potentially do. We could. I really do think we're gonna get 6 matches on this card. With the 5th one being Jay and Logan, I think that's a given. And I think either you decide whether you want to put the WWE Women's Championship on there or you want to put Io Sky on there. Either or. I think either of those 2 matches could make the card. Unless they put both of them and then we get a 7-match card. But let's give our predictions. Let's start off with the United States Championship match, Jacob Fatu versus Damian Priest versus LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre.
I will go last.
No, God. Bro, the only right answer is Fatu, bro. What do we do?
I'm also going to go Jacob Fatu as well.
Yes.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there.
Oh, brother. Here we go.
Drew McIntyre is
The
not
big.
winning the
You
US
want
title.
wait, so you want Drew to have screw up his big potential year for a US title.
Grand Slam Drew will happen in 6 nights.
You're a clown.
Grand Slam.
Drew's not fucking going over.
Thank God.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Watch
He's
him
Wait,
take
pinning
a pin.
Damian Priest. Yeah,
Leak,
again.
Leak, you do me a favor? Can you go like this?
No, I'm not doing that.
Wait, nah, I think you have something on your chin. Can you go like this?
Nah, I'm not doing that. No, not doing that. Not falling for
He
it.
definitely does have someone on his shin.
I'm not falling for that shit, Jay.
You need to practice what Drew's gonna be doing at Backlash.
Looking at the lights, buddy.
Wait,
do we think?
Can I pause real quick?
Huh?
Wait, Rod, is that a Travis Scott John Cena jersey?
Yeah.
But you say you don't have money? Oh, go ahead. Continue, please.
Big
Ironic!
Jay, he's been to 2 of the 4 of the big 4 this year.
Ironic, Jay.
I was ironic, buddy.
Oh, you're rich. You're rich.
Okay.
No, he's not.
He said no, he's not. Ghost, who's your prediction?
Yeah, but wait, Lee, what the fuck? You don't know me, nigga. Thanks.
See? Just give it to Jacob Fatu. He's pinning Drew.
Yeah,
No,
Jacob is going over though. He's pinning Damien.
Yeah, see, he's pinning Damian Priest because fuck Damian
Yeah,
Priest.
but Drew's gonna fail to break it up.
All right, fuck you.
He's gonna have dry face.
Do we think Solo Sikoa, kind of like interferes in this match? And
Yes.
well, do you think like he's like obviously Jacob's not gonna lose this match, but like, do you think we start to see that like Solo makes a mistake and it almost costs Jacob the match?
Yes.
I think it's gonna be one of those situations where it's gonna be like he's gonna come in and whatever he does is gonna almost cost Fatu, but not really cost him. You know what I mean? Just to continue to build the slow burn of the Solo and Jacob feud.
Yeah, that I mean.
All right. So moving on to the next match. I've seen a lot of outrage on this match. Gunther and Pat McAfee.
This better be a squash.
Huh?
Oh.
You know what? It is an easy Gunther W, and I'll be wishing Pat McAfee a speedy recovery.
This is surely to write off Pat McAfee. I'm pretty sure.
Has to be.
Was college football not starting up again? Or some shit like that?
It starts in July and
I see
August.
they'll be kicking Pat off just in time for that then.
Look, my prediction is obviously Gunther. But people are outraged at this match because Gunther's going from being a world heavyweight champion to fighting a commentator. I hate to break it to you, but if you don't know ball, if you don't know what Pat McAfee can do in that ring, if you don't know what Pat McAfee can do in that ring, then I'm afraid you don't know how talented that man is. He's actually, bro, like honestly, might be one of the most talented celebrity wrestlers ever. I would even argue, you can go back rewatch his match with Adam Cole. I mean, at the end of the day, that's Adam Cole, one of the most talented people in the world. This is Gunther. If you don't think that Gunther can get a great match out of Pat McAfee like Adam Cole was, bro, this man Pat McAfee had a pretty damn good match at WrestleMania with Austin Theory. So,
And Vince McMahon.
well, that wasn't really a match, but Pat McAfee, look, this is going to be a squash. It's going to be a very good squash because Pat McAfee is going to show some fight and he is going to bust out a couple of moves and people are going to be like, oh my God. And at the end of the day, people are going to be like, damn, that match was better than I expected. Well, I mean, maybe if you knew the type of talent that Pat McAfee was, maybe you'd know. Instead of bashing this match because you think Gunther's above. Look, this is a filler feud for Gunther. They could have just easily not even have booked him on the show. But clearly, they like him enough to book him on the show. So you would have been mad if they would have not had him on the show. And you're mad because he's on the show now because he's facing Pat McAfee. So what is it?
I ain't gonna lie, I think Gunther should have went on a hiatus after Mania.
For what?
Because he's been going like that hard, since he debuted. He deserves like a little break.
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know. You already sent Cody Rhodes on a hiatus, and
he. I think the longest he's been away for is like 2 weeks, and it was right after he lost the IC title. Then he came back and won King of the Ring straight away, joined the King of the Ring tournament, and then
one thing that Raw definitely does not need is the lack of Gunther.
Yeah, I would say that's
Especially they already got to go through a lack of Punk and a lack of Roman. I guess I don't even know what brand he's on really. Rod says he's a free agent, so I guess he's a free agent. But you can't have all your guys missing time.
Yeah,
but that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, Lee. That's crazy. To be honest, Lee, come here.
What the fuck?
I'm about to show you why that was a bad take. Come here.
Fuck's sake.
So I'm pretty sure we're on agreement that Gunther's winning.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will be a good match, and I think a lot of people are gonna be like, yeah, this was better than I expected. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, if Gunther lost this match, I would literally be speechless. I wouldn't know what to say. I would be speechless.
That would be very ugh. Okay, moving on. Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch.
Lyra
Look,
Valkyria.
Becky Lynch.
buddy. I don't know.
Becky, hold on. Becky Lynch. I swear to God, better not win this damn match. Becky. Becky.
Ghost is about
Becky.
bullshit. Ghost is about
Becky, for
bullshit.
the love of God, Becky. You put her over once.
Please do it again.
You can do it again. You can do it. You do. She does not need the title. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't need the title.
Good people, bad news.
And look. I like the story that they're going for here. A lot of people didn't realize Lyra could actually talk on the mic. She can talk. She's very serviceable on the mic. She's very good. This match is going to be very good. I mean, their first match was okay. You know, the match that they had back at NXT. I think this one will be way better. Lyra, not saying that she was bad in the ring back then, because she wasn't, but Lyra's actually has one of the best work rates. She has one of the best work rates this year.
She does. She's actually.
She has done very, very good. Like, I will say this. Like, I think they've done a pretty actually decent job with the women's mid card titles. Obviously, before they gave it to Zelina Vega, Chelsea was doing a really good job. And Lyra doesn't have so much more of like the story aspect that Chelsea was having, and the character work and all that stuff. Lyra has the work rate, the stuff in the ring, and I think she's been doing a great job. Obviously one of the matches, Dakota Kai, obviously she's not around anymore. But yeah, I think they've done a really good job. My pick, I would love for Lyra to win. It's my pick. I'm hoping she does win. I feel like she needs it more to really cement herself. Becky does not, I'm gonna say it again, does not need to win this damn title.
You're cooking that. You're cooking.
But I have
Look
a
at
feeling
Tommy and Ghost on the same page.
I have a feeling we're headed down a dark road. And Becky's gonna win, and it's gonna set up a match between Becky and Bayley for the women's IC title.
Oh yeah,
which shouldn't happen because these women are above the women's IC title, and they should be
Just
competing.
another accolade for them. Just another accolade for them.
What are we doing? Like,
It's basically like
if I were to pick the next person to win the women's IC title, it would be Ivy Nile.
Shout out to Pitbull. I like Pitbull.
It would be Ivy Nile. I think her work has been pretty good, and they had a little story going there with Lyra, and I wish they would have continued it on, because I think Ivy has been one of the more improved women's wrestlers in the last several months. And she actually had a match with Lyra that was pretty damn good. Lyra's just very, very talented, honestly. But that's who I would pick. I think Lyra had a really good match with somebody else recently that wasn't Dakota Kai. I can't really think. Oh well, Bayley. She did have she had a great match with Bayley. But yeah, that would be my pick. It would be Lyra, and then I would pick for Lyra to actually drop the title to Ivy Nile at some point.
So as nice as that may sound, Axel, because that does sound nice. Trust me, it sounds great, and I rather it happen that way. But again, I lose too many predictions. So I'm trying to think like Triple H, right? And it's just, if everyone else is retaining on Backlash, and we have this potential setup of Bayley and Becky right there, the surprise of the card, we need something, and it just makes sense. Becky is gonna be Lyra, man. It just makes sense, bro. Knowing Triple H, this is literally. If you understand the way he's been booking lately, I mean, this just kind of makes sense. Granted, I don't know who idea this would be. Granted, I don't think they care about Becky Hogan agendas. I don't think they're worried about that at all.
I will say I won't be mad at who wins. I just want Lyra to win.
And another thing is too, though, I do think Triple H thinks that a Becky and Bailey feud, because of who those two women are, around the new IC title is something that the issue is gonna need. I think this is the perfect time to run that. Get this out the way now, so the people like Lyra, the people like Ivy can go right back to the top of that division, and at least that belt will have some type of legitimacy. Not saying that it can't get that with Lyra. I think Triple H is trying to fast track it though, and what way to do that than having Becky and Bailey kind of feuding? Hey, I know it don't sound good, but I'm just trying to think like Triple H, man. That's it.
They're really trying to do Becky and Bailey at SummerSlam for the brother.
I'm just saying,
Oh
bro.
man, what a
I'm just
great!
saying.
It's gonna be a very fun backlash. Go ahead, Becky with the bell.
It's just, again, I'm just trying to think like Triple H, and I just see it. I just see it all. I see it. I see it. I see this. I see
Anyway,
where it's
next
going.
match. Next match.
Oh, now it's next match.
Wait, hold on. Jay still has to give his on this match. His prediction on this match.
Which match? You talk about Lyra and Becky?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, my heart is telling me that Lyra's gonna win, but my brain is telling me Becky's going over. So
Becky
I'm
Hogan.
gonna have to say Becky, because I just got, when like you just get a bad feeling in your ass, like something bad's about to happen. That's how I feel about this match, bro. I just feel you could just feel the bullshit cooking, bro.
How do you feel if like Becky does win?
If Becky wins, I'm gonna say this, bro. Look, how can I put this, bro? Look, it's well known that Becky signs off on all her stuff. And yes, we're probably going to get a story with Bailey and Becky. But let's look at it like this. When you look at I don't mean to get into a long rant about it. I'm going to try to cut it as short as I can. When you look at it in the grand scheme of things, Becky did some like grimy shit. Like, yeah, Bailey is her friend, like they fuck with each other, yada yada. She did some grimy shit. So she attacked Bailey, returned at WrestleMania, won the titles, and instead of because you know what I'm saying, what she could have did was she could have cost Lyra the title. Yo, get off my damn paper towels. She could have cost Lyra the titles at WrestleMania, but of course, Becky had to stat pad and win the title. Okay. Next night on Raw, Becky cost Lyra the titles, the same titles that they didn't have to win the night previous. Okay. They could have used that Raw to explain Becky's actions, but instead, she turned heel that night instead. Next week, she comes out, cuts a promo, talks about, she pulls a Vince. It was me, Bailey. It was me all along. That type of shit, whatever. It was a good promo, but if the end goal for all this is for Becky to win the IC title and then Bailey take it away, did Becky really have to win 2 titles to tell that story? Like, did she really think about it? Does she have to win 2 different championships to tell a Bailey versus Becky feud?
This is disgusting.
She did not need to win. She did not need to win the championships in order to get her heel angle started, bro. I'm sorry. And like I really do fuck with Becky. You know, me and Donnie locked in, and Donnie had me seeing the vision of like Becky being the GOAT, but like certain shit that she does, it's just like so sus. Like it's just so backdoor, and it's like it would be different if it was like somebody else, and like we don't know the creative process. That's big time bets. You not gonna tell me that Nick she's not signing off on shit, bro. Becky literally came out and said that her and creative were working together and she didn't want to return until the creative made sense. AKA she did not want to return. She did not want to return unless she was in prime position for a title, bro. I don't understand how a quote like that can come out and people still think Becky has nothing to do with her booking.
Exactly.
Shameless, bro. I'm not, bro. They're really about to build a Becky and Bailey storyline around a title. Oh. Well, you could easily tell that one as a non-title, and bro, build like you can have Lyra go on a feud with somebody else for the title and build somebody else up to win that title. Oh man, this is mm, nope. Yeah, this
Next
is
match.
that is frustrating. Wow.
Mhm.
All right. Main event one last time. John Cena, Randy Orton. Now, I'm happy that this match is happening. I'm not happy that the ending could actually turn out to be very, very bad. We're gonna get another Travis Scott interference potentially in this match.
Oh, brother.
Um, maybe Cody Rhodes does come out in this match. Maybe this is where his hiatus is done. Because he is booked for the May 16th episode, which is the episode right after Backlash. So I really do think Cody Rhodes could come out. Obviously, John Cena is going to win this match. I do not see a scenario in which Randy Orton does win this match. And John Cena is not winning clean. There has to be a variable that plays into here because John Cena is not going to win clean. I highly doubt John Cena wins a majority of his matches, at least in this title run, clean. I think he's going to win a lot of them by interferences or whatever. And I really do think that, we do get Travis Scott coming out. Now, I'm fine with Cody Rhodes coming out. Now, here's the thing. For the love of God, if I see Bad Bunny come out, it's nothing on Bad Bunny. It has nothing to do with him because I've been seeing the rumors that we could potentially be getting Cody Rhodes and Bad Bunny versus Travis Scott and John Cena. Oh boy. Oh, I do not want to see that. Oh yeah, I just hope this match is at least pretty good. I haven't really gone back to rewatch John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I haven't seen any. I haven't gone back to see WrestleMania even at all. I've only gone off of what I seen at WrestleMania, and to me, I had a ball. I was having a ball just watching the match. The atmosphere was great. I haven't really gone back to actually really dissect the match or really watch it. But John Cena is obviously very slow in the ring. I mean, I would hope so. He's 47 or whatever. But yeah. Randy Orton's still very good. These guys do have a lot of chemistry together. I don't think John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I don't know how much chemistry they really truly have. They actually haven't even faced each other in well over 10 years. It's the first time they faced each other in a one-on-one match in over 10 or 12 years. And obviously that was with Cena in his prime. And so yeah, I mean that it could have just been the consequences of just them not having chemistry. But I think this match will actually turn out better than John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I really do think this match will be better.
Well, that's
Just the ending will probably piss me off a bit because I do not want to see Travis Scott. I'm fine with John Cena winning by him hitting Randy Orton with the title. I'm actually completely fine with that because I know where we're headed. But to see Travis Scott make a fucking 7-minute entrance again, which completely fucked up the pacing of that Cody Rhodes match. Seeing that is gonna piss me off. So
no, you're
yeah.
right. I hope that doesn't happen again, but I'm pretty sure something like that may happen again. But I'm not gonna take the lead route here and go with one of my goats, Randy Orton, because I'm not.
You're not delusional.
Nah, I wouldn't pick Randy Orton in this situation. If Drew McIntyre was in this situation, though, I know you're picking Drew McIntyre.
You would be wrong.
Whatever, bro. Anyways, my pick is John Cena, and I think we are gonna get another interference. I just hope it's not one of the ones that take fucking forever. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Oh, is he closing?
You know what would be so funny to me in this match if it happens? Obviously, remember the whole no. He's not coming out on Backlash. But what would be so funny to me is obviously back in the day, Randy Orton punk kicked John Cena's father. I think it would be absolutely hilarious if John Cena AAs Kim Orton.
Oh,
I actually think it would be the most heel thing ever if he's to AA Randy Orton's wife.
Wouldn't surprise me if John Cena kisses Kim Orton after he's done it as
Like,
well.
like like AA's her or like gives her a STF. Like I think that would be the craziest thing ever. And it honestly it would add more to John Cena's heel run. It would add more to his heel turn that he just really doesn't care about anything. He just wants to win. I think it would be the funniest thing ever if he were to actually do that. And it could get Randy to kind of, like being set off, and then maybe like he knocks down the referee. John Cena hits him with the title. 1, 2, 3. That's it. That would be great. I think that would be great. And not Travis Scott coming out.
I could be holding on to this for no reason, but I can still see that, and they can take that and make Randy to kind of go off the deep end, and we still get Nick Aldis and Randy. For some reason, I want that. I don't know why, but
You're clinging on to false hope, Tommy.
I am. I don't know why, but I am.
Anyway, it's very clear who's gonna win. John Cena. I do think we're gonna get the return of Cody. Like you said, Axel, he is. It's the SmackDown after Backlash he's on, right? Oh. Anyway, Axel just disappeared, but I believe it's the SmackDown after Backlash he's away back. So pretty obvious that's what's gonna happen. Cena's gonna win, and Cody's gonna return.
I don't know what
happened there, Axel.
No idea. It just lagged me out.
Anyways, Cena will be his son on the Backlash.
That's crazy, Ghost, but
Yeah, Cena's surely gotta win this. How would y'all feel if Travis Scott does come out though? Oh, boy.
I'm turning the pay-per-view off and quitting wrestling forever.
Bro, just run.
Ready to quit wrestling forever, then, buddy.
Just jog down the ramp.
Bro, I just really hope, right? I just really the alternate ending that I really want is just Cena, AA, and Kim Orton, bro. That's just come on, yo, you hold on. You can't look at me like that. Hold on. You can't look at me like that, Jay, because this man Randy punk kicked this man's father.
He got to get his
he got to get his get back.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, Kim not taking an AA. She taking a concerto.
I was about to say give her an AA, and then he just locks in the STF the whole time.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say AA, and then how Cena
AA through the table,
right in front of Orton.
I would prefer that ending because it gets Randy off edge, and then he's the one that knocks out the referee by accident, and gets hit with the title. But please, no Travis Scott, please. But brother, I think it's gonna happen. Honestly, I really don't want it, but man, I could see Travis Scott coming out in every single one of John Cena's matches, man. I could really see that happening.
All right.
Shit. Well,
Jay?
that was Jay. What's your pick, by the way? I don't even know if he even said who his pick was.
His pick's probably John Cena.
Yeah, it's probably John
It's
Cena.
John
Honestly.
Cena. What are we?
That's basically it. Honestly, there's really nothing else to talk about. I mean, we kind of got through everything. The predictions should be dropping soon. I don't know if they're dropping tonight or tomorrow.
Unfortunately, Tommy's in charge of them this time, so they may
Tommy,
go a bit messed up.
When are they dropping, Tommy?
They're gonna be right, and they're probably gonna drop tomorrow's Monday. So yeah, Monday, Tuesday.
If you guys do want to participate in predictions, all you have to do is join the Discord. Somebody drop the link of the Discord in the chat. In the chat.
None of us can do because we're not mods in the chat.
Tommy, drop the link of the Discord.
Yeah,
in the chat. So just join the Discord if you do want to compete in predictions. You can join. We have brands in the Discord. You can join it. You can join the brands and try to take either brand's titles. But yeah, that was
the Fed. Fuck the Fed.
That was basically the stream. Before we do get out of here, make sure this Wednesday you guys do tune in to Oversputed, hosted by Tommy, Jay, Steven, and Tio. Make sure you guys watch that. That's every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. If I'm correct, right, Tommy?
Yep.
Yep. Make sure y'all watch that. Other than that, we will be back live for episode 145 next week of BTBC. We will let you guys also know if we're doing a watch along. Not sure if we're gonna do it just yet, but if we do, we'll let you guys know throughout the week. Like I said, you just got to be in the Discord for that. So tap into the Discord where you'll find out all the updates. But anything else you guys want to say?
John Cena.
Drew McIntyre.
God.
If John Cena loses this Saturday, there won't be enough ambulances to take me out of Rod.
What the fuck?
The stream.
I'm gonna slap the shit out of you for that one.
Oh my god.
All right,
The
anyway,
stream.
guys, we'll see you all next week.
John Cena spanking his son.
17.